Over the last 3 years, I spent weeks eating and training like Jujutsu Kaisen characters, and one of these diets almost wrecked me. This isn't your average cheat meal video. I trained like Yuji, I ate like Gojo, and honestly, I pushed my body to the limit like Toji. This is my full Jujutsu Kaisen training journey, so sit back and enjoy the ride. This video is thanks in part to Cooking with Chaos, my infinite recipe card system. I'll talk more about that later. This is Yuji from Jujutsu Kaisen, and he has a very interesting diet. I want to become strong just like Yuji, fast just like Yuji, but I am nothing like Yuji. My plan is then, in order to build the muscle, the power, the speed, and whatever this is to spend the next 7 days eating and training like Yuji, with the goal of becoming just like Yuji and winning an actual fight against Taekwondo experts, and fuel my body with everything that Yuji loves to eat. And so I jumped into my very first day of training to get ready for the next 7 days.
He's got to earn that white belt, man.
And my instructor is Master DJ, a 4th degree black belt in Taekwondo.
I'm Master DJ. I'm with US World Class Taekwondo. Whoa, let's go. Ready, go.
So for the next 7 days, to be as cool as those kids are and to be closer to Yuji, I have to train in the basics. Coach Dad had to come over to help me out quite a few times because I had no clue what I was doing. And as soon as warm-ups were over, we got right into it with kicking practice.
So we're gonna go 10 here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yuji is incredibly fast, and practicing these kicks like this made me feel a little bit like Yuji. But this is also something I've never done before, so I'll take all the advice I can get.
Oh, you go up on your forearm then? Okay. See how Marissa's doing it? Yeah, that was just better. Yeah, just more comfortable that way.
I had to learn 3 different kicks today, and this is only day 1.
See, he's got it. You can tell, you know what I mean?
I think Master DJ was just being too nice here, especially when you compare my kicks to my sparring partner's kicks.
Hi, my name's Cole. I've been training in Taekwondo for the past 9 years since I was 10 years old, and my goal is to be an Olympian.
Cole is who I'm training with all week and is someone that I actually have to fight at the end to earn my white belt. I have my work cut out for me. And after a solid hour of training on my first day, they'd made me try to do the splits. This wasn't happening. My mic had cut out for this part, so I'll recreate it for you. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. And after a full hour of training, he wanted me to do a board break to get me super hyped up for the rest of the week.
3, 2, 1, break! Whoa!
And I have to say, my first board break absolutely got me hyped up for the rest of the week. And just when I thought I was done, he handed me homework.
I will see you tomorrow night, hopefully not battered and broken.
And after all of this, I still have to head back to the house to figure out how to meal prep like Yuji.
So, how did it go?
Everything hurts. The big problem is that it's 10 p.m. and I have nothing prepped for food for Yuji's diet. This is gonna be a fun week. I'll see you guys in the morning.
But you know what would have helped me for this meal prep is Cooking with Chaos, my brand new infinite recipe card system. Each box comes with 60 different recipe cards that, get this, make over 8,000 different possible combinations of meals. And it's as simple as 1, 2, 3. You pick 1 green card, which are the sides, 1 protein card, which are red, and 1 sauce card, which are blue. So let's have a little bit of fun with this combination. The tangy spicy mayo for the sauce, the shredded beef for the protein, and the crispy garlic potato for the sides. You make each card and then combine them however you want. On a rice bowl, in a sandwich, just as is on a plate. Literally do it however you want to eat it. And for all my gamers out there, this works with a 20-sided die as well. Each card has a corresponding number in the corner that follows a D20. All you have to do is roll your die and pick whatever comes up on that dice roll to make your meal and get a little bit of chaos in your life. I've been using these for the past 3 years to try to meal prep, make daily life a little bit easier, and explore new flavor options just like all these awesome people who have already been cooking with chaos. I promise you're gonna find a combination that you love and you're gonna have a ton of fun learning how to cook with Cooking with Chaos. Every recipe is self-contained with all of the ingredients on the front and all of the directions on the back, along with macronutrients on the bottom. You have everything you need to get started right here. I created this in hopes that you would have more fun cooking. So if you wanna check out Cooking with Chaos, I'm gonna leave a link down below where you can order it right now over at cookingwithchaos.gg or with the QR code on screen. And if you order right now, I'm also sending free D20 with every single order, so that way you can start rolling the dice for dinner. Maybe if Yuji had Cooking with Chaos, he would make something other than chicken meatballs. Now, let's get back to this video. Good morning. I have to admit, After that training session last night, I am incredibly sore, and I really hope that whatever we need to eat for Yuji helps refuel me for this entire week, leading up to the tournament fight. So now I'm gonna figure out exactly how much Yuji needs to eat per day to fuel me for this entire week. Now, according to the internet, Yuji is 176 pounds. This means at 5'8", he needs to eat 3,100 calories per day, which means about 190 grams of protein, 90 grams of fat, and 420 grams of carbohydrates. What this really means is we need to make and eat a ton of meatballs, so please bear with me as we meal prep for the entire week.
To start things off, I need to make a bunch of carbohydrates. I'm using around 4 cups of rice to get started, and this may get me through the next couple of days. This is just short grain Japanese style white rice that I am washing until the water runs clear.
Once I have my rice washed, I fill it to the first knuckle on your finger because that's what everybody should be doing. This is just gonna get thrown on the rice cooker. Now, with the rice cooker have sang the song of its people, we actually have to make meatball prep because that's gonna take the longest. And the rice cooker does take an hour to make rice, so we can make our meatballs in the meantime. The kicker with this entire week is that just like the Ichigo diet, which I filmed quite a while ago with Chris Sensei, is that I'm going to be training multiple times throughout the day. So to be able to fuel that, I do have to eat quite a bit of food. And that's why I have about 6 pounds worth of ground chicken to make meatballs.
6 pounds of chicken seems like a lot, but trust me, I'm gonna eat all of it.
I'm only smelling this because I bought this on the cheap. This was $2. I think they said it was expiring. Doesn't smell bad. So I hope it doesn't go bad.
Meal prep doesn't have to cost a lot, especially if you bargain shop.
Should have got a bigger, I need a bigger thing. That's better.
Now to this giant pile of chicken, I'm adding in 3 cloves of crushed garlic, followed by about a 2-inch piece of minced ginger. I tried crushing the ginger in the garlic press and it just didn't work, so I just ended up chopping it up with my knife. Throw that into the mixture along with 2 whole eggs.
You also need a hefty amount of salt because this is so much chicken thigh. I'm gonna season it half now and then maybe add in more if I feel like I need it when we do a tester.
After seasoning it, I get in there making sure everything is fully mixed together because no one wants flavorless meatballs, even though this looks like weird McDonald's paste. Now I am adding around 1 cup worth of panko breadcrumbs to help thicken this up just because I'm using it for meal prep over so many days.
Anytime you make like a sausage or a patty or anything like that, you wanna make sure that you sample it just to make sure it's seasoned properly. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of my chicken meat, place it into my pan, and we're just gonna cook this. It doesn't need to be fancy, it doesn't need to like be perfectly moist or anything. We're really just cooking this for taste.
I'm really only cooking this for a few minutes before I give it a flip and then cook the other side. This is when I can give it a taste.
That's pretty spot on. Maybe just a touch more salt into the mixture. Let's see what that tastes like. Boom, beautiful. The ginger really comes through. Little hint of garlic, spiced nicely, perfect. We gotta portion out all of this. This is what we used to do in restaurants all the time when we had to make a big batch of meatballs for anything. Take 2 sheet trays, line them with plastic just to make your life easier later. It takes a while now, but it's gonna pay off later when lunch and dinner and whenever I have this is so much easier to put together. Take a giant amount of it in your hand, take a portion scoop. These things come in handy for so many things. This is about 1 ounce and I'm just gonna, that's it.
This makes this process so much faster. I'm able to knock out an entire sheet tray in minutes.
This whole process took 4 minutes. It is 11:05.
Now with all the meatballs portioned, I have to cook all of them in a ton of chicken stock, but this chicken stock is going to be a very special chicken stock.
To this massive amount of stock, I'm gonna throw in 1 whole onion for flavor. We're also gonna throw in another bunch of ginger for more flavor. Now this is where it gets a little bit fun and I'm gonna take some creative liberties here because I have leftover ramen broth from the Naruto diet that I did.
There's no better way of reusing this ramen broth other than for ramen.
Now I do have to bring this to a boil so I can cook those meatballs, so I'm gonna do it over there because there's a lot of it. Gandalf, don't you go up near those meatballs. Put that sniffer away, sir. Gandalf. There's garlic and stuff in there.
After getting Gandalf off the meatballs, it's time to prep some of the vegetables, and this is super simple. I'm using some baby bok choy that I have to wash and clean, followed by 1 massive carrot. I was gonna use 2, but the 1 is plenty enough. Peel it, slice it into these nice thicker pieces, so this way when I boil it later, it doesn't fall apart.
Carrots though, they're done. We're gonna soak these in water so they stay nice and crisp. And then for the Napa cabbage, I'm just gonna peel back some of the leaves.
And once the leaves are peeled back, I'm just cutting this in half so this way I have nice chunky boys to put into my soup later tonight so they don't take too long to cook.
Now we get cleaned up and we can actually make the meatballs.
By now, my poaching liquid is nice and hot, and I'm gonna start dropping in all of my meatballs. Well, not all of them because there's so many, so I actually have to do this in 2 separate batches.
Give this a little love nudge, you know?
After a love nudge, I throw a lid on it and let them cook.
My meatballs have been going for about 7 or 8 minutes now, and these are looking really, really nice. Look at those guys right there. Look at it, nice and plump. And as long as there's no raw looking chicken in there, you're good. No raw chicken. Cheers. Oh yeah, that's delicious.
Now it's time to fish out every single meatball so they don't overcook.
The unfortunate thing is that it's almost noon and I haven't gotten my first workout in. We have quite a bit to catch up on.
That's why I'm going turbo speed to cook off the rest of these meatballs, making sure that these are fully cooked before I fish them back out. Now, all of my meatballs are ready to eat.
Now that I have all of my meatballs ready to go, these have to cool down completely. But I also feel like since I'm running low on time today, I'm gonna have some of these for breakfast.
Oh, and all of that liquid? Yeah. I have to cool this down so I can have this throughout the entire week. And now since I'm literally running out of time before I have to be to the gym, I'm doing a take on a traditional oyakudon or a chicken, egg, and rice bowl. I'm starting off with about 1/4 of a sliced onion as well as some suyu, which is a soup style broth. I'm simmering this for just a minute or 2.
And then I'm gonna do 4 meatballs.
This is pretty ideal because the meatballs are freshly cooked and they're still pretty hot. So after throwing those into my pan, I'm also adding in 5 egg whites to bump up the protein count. This is very not traditional, but I needed the extra protein. I'm turning off the heat and throwing a lid on it, then moving it to the other stove so this way I can finish working on some of the toppings. Namely, 1 egg that I'm gonna hard fry slightly and then flip it to make it nice and over easy.
I'm only gonna cook this for maybe like 15, 30 seconds, not too long on this side. I like mine nice and easy.
Now that that other egg is ready to go, I'm placing the rest of my egg and chicken and onion mixture onto 350 grams of rice, topping it with that egg and then some furikake.
And there, my friends, is breakfast, finally. It looks kind of bland because it's very protein heavy and kind of want some we should put some green onion or something on it. Green onion definitely goes a long way. Now there is breakfast. Not as sad looking. According to Macro Factor, this entire bowl of food comes out to 823 calories, 67 grams of protein, 12 grams of fat, and around 100 grams of carbohydrates. This is a pretty substantial amount of food, but I'm gonna need it for what's to come. I just like to make sure that I break the yolk because it's the only thing that I can kind of mix around into the rice. Get a bite with the rice and the egg and the green onion and the meatball. Cheers. That's a fantastic breakfast. I'm gonna take this down and I'll see you at the gym.
My coach had sent me an entire Yuji style workout, and that's exactly what I'm going to be doing today. I'm starting off by just getting my body slightly warmed up because your boy is old. After a few mini lunges and whatever those things were, I'm starting off with leg day. This means a ton of squats. And in this case, I'm actually going for higher reps and sets. This way I can build a bit more endurance without using too much weight on my body. After the squats, I really try to hit my hamstrings because that's one of the weakest parts of my body. And given that Yuji is very, very fast, it's super important that I really strengthen my legs. Not only that, but training legs for the entire week will be helpful for Taekwondo practice and for my sparring matches later, or so I like to tell myself. After more leg exercises, I was kind of hurting because of the previous day of Taekwondo. So after some stretching, I went and tried to do some of the homework that Master DJ had given me. This felt incredibly awkward because all of my old Kung Fu training kept trying to come back. So instead, I tried something completely new and did the groundwork exercises that we had practiced the day before, as well as the footwork, before I ended up calling it a day because I have to go make lunch.
Here is what's going on. It is 4 p.m. and I'm just now leaving the gym. I have to head home, make lunch, which probably won't be too heavy because we have to be back for training at 7 p.m., which is only 3 hours from now. And that's not actually a lot of time to digest a big meal and then have a bunch of training. This is gonna be a very packed day because we did all of our meal prep ahead of time. So hopefully tomorrow is a little bit smoother because today's rough. I'm hurting, man. What the hell? Now, welcome to the segment of today that's called Paul is not prepared. I don't even actually need this yet. I have to make lunch.
And lunch is going to be super simple. I'm using around 10 ounces worth of chicken breast that I picked up because I wanted something a little lower in fat than the meatballs were. This is going to be really easy to make. I'm taking my 10 ounces worth of chicken and dicing this up into 1-inch cubes. And this is ready to cook.
I'm going to do this in a very large saute pan. This way, it'll actually have more surface area, so it does cook a bit faster than a smaller saute pan.
In the giant saute pan, I'm adding just a touch of oil to help cook off the chicken, dropping the chicken in as soon as that pan is nice and hot because I have to get going. I'm sauteing this just until I get a little color on the chicken, then throwing some water on top of it and kind of steaming the chicken a bit.
We're gonna cook this for about 5 or 6 minutes until that chicken is done.
And once the chicken is done, here's the next part. Add in just a touch more water to deglaze it.
Then the secret ingredient to make some really good toppings for your rice is just to grab a really good jar of kimchi.
Kimchi is an amazing hack when you add it to something like this. It essentially becomes a kimchi stir fry in a way, but the only thing you want to make sure you do is to not fully cook the kimchi. It kind of defeats the purpose of the probiotics.
I'm gonna be honest, this isn't the most exciting thing, but it is going to be delicious. A lot of the times for these diet videos, I lean towards utility versus flavor, and sometimes you have to make that sacrifice. So in this case, for this one bowl of food, this is 950 calories, 82 grams worth of protein, 11 grams of fat, and 120 grams of carbohydrates. To put it in perspective, 120 grams of carbohydrates, I think, is 3 cans of Coke. Or you could have all of this. Cheers. It's delicious. That's everything you would want. Hopefully, I don't get too tired. It is now 4:42. That means we spent, what, 15-ish minutes making this? That's not terrible. We have to eat this, shower, then head over to practice for tonight. I'll see you guys there. Well, this is day 2, and not gonna lie, I'm feeling extremely tired for this session, so I wore the Naruto pants to hopefully give me power. Let's get inside and get started.
Walking into the dojo today, I felt incredibly excited but a little anxious until I came across this poster that Master DJ had made. I sent him this picture as a joke and he absolutely blasted this all over the dojo and I'm super excited about it.
I don't know why I feel like so intimidated today, even though we had a full day yesterday. Like, I feel like now I know a little bit more, so I'm kind of worried. We'll see how today goes. I gotta stretch my groin because that hurts from yesterday. Oh, that hurts. So we have 4 days to get ready for sparring and a belt ceremony. And I still have to eat a bunch of food when I get back for all the meal prep we did earlier today. This is a tough one. Maybe this is why people get like personal trainers and personal chefs. Michelle Carre, if you ever watch this, let me know and I will be your personal chef for one of your challenge accepted videos.
Now, since I had a few minutes before my class started, I got a bit more stretching in and then we finally lined up for class. The way we line up is by belt ranking, and since I don't have a belt, I line up at the back and at the end. We start by doing some high knees along with trying to touch your knees, so this way it emulates trying to throw a block. This really felt like trying to rub your tummy and pat your head at the same time. So weird. We had to do it both ways and I still really couldn't figure it out that well, but then we moved straight into footwork and I forgot to take off my socks like an idiot.
Wash the hands too. Remember, front hand out in front of the body.
Warm-ups actually are incredibly important, as you can see by my lack of hip mobility. It felt like everything was super tight from the previous workout we did during the day, especially compared to someone like Cole and everyone else in the class.
All right, partner up. Get by the white wall then. Right, we're just gonna work on the headshots, we're gonna work on the flexibility, making that a constant.
I'm sorry, did Master DJ just say flexibility and headshots? Luckily, one of the black belts had demonstrated the headshots and it wasn't on me.
I'm gonna keep my shoulder up as high as I can. I don't wanna get hit in the face, so I get the head back like this. Come here, boom. Just trust your partner not to hit you in the face.
Now, I trust my partner to not hit me in the face, but my legs are nowhere near as flexible as theirs are. So I warn my partner, please, duck. I am not trying to hit you in the head here and everything hurts while I'm doing these. But during a tournament, headshots are worth 5 points, so we need to practice them.
And this high swing, we're just getting used to getting that leg high, get it high. Big swing, big swing.
And after all those warm-ups, I actually had to start putting all of this together by learning how to counter kick.
I move, boom, and he goes right above the face for that roundhouse set, right? So it's an on motion, a look for motion.
Counter kicking is incredibly important when you're talking about sparring and tournament practice, and of course, we want to be ready for the tournament arc. I mean, look at Cole here. He basically is practicing Black Flash on me the entire time while I'm over here looking like Treebeard trying to grow his branches. He might be my nemesis for the week, but he was kind enough to give me some pointers, so this way I could get some of the kicks right.
For the lead leg, we usually move inside like this.
Okay, oh, okay.
But if you can't, go for the same.
With some great advice from Cole, my kicks felt a bit better, but it didn't help the fact that everything still hurt. Did I mention we're only about 20 minutes into our practice? This is when we had to practice our defensive kicks. Now, Yuji and Toto like attacking, but I will say, defense is incredibly important. And in this case, I get to hold a bag and charge Cole while he defends against me. This was a lot of fun because I kind of got to rush him down, but then we had to switch roles and I really couldn't figure this one out. This one was really tough for me to do because you had to lift your leg so quickly and then retreat. Halfway through we swapped and then I lost all of my balance over again. This felt really hard. And just when I started figuring some things out, we had to now practice a jumping, retreating back kick. I have to learn how to jump, spin, and throw a kick all at one time today. Luckily, this one felt somewhat natural. I ended up getting a little overconfident here, and I'm pretty sure I smacked Cole in the elbow.
Almost got the elbow, sorry.
But Yuji and Toto don't stand still when they throw any of their attacks. So we had to practice this kick while being charged by one of the bags. Cole went up first and demonstrated this for me, and as confident as I was previously, moving and backtracking while trying to throw these spinning, jumping back kicks was incredibly difficult.
It's so much different when you're moving towards me.
Big shot.
This is all happening so fast that I can't take it all in, and now we have to practice 2 different kicks while being chased at the same time.
Bah, and he chase for it, bah, and he hits the cut, right? So it's just quick. Back it out, boom, and then stop him again.
This even seemed difficult for a gold medalist like Cole. How on earth am I going to do this? After Cole demonstrated the first time, it was my turn to go.
That's rough.
My brain could not put all 3 things together. Being chased, throwing a back kick, then backpedaling, then throwing a cut kick. It really felt like I was a newborn trying to crawl. But when I think about Yuji and how he was able to do consecutive black flash attacks at the same time, this is what it really felt like, but only when Cole was doing it, not when I was doing it. When Treebeard was up, it was more of just trying to survive.
I feel the rice and the meatballs right now.
Yeah, it's kind of
That was a poor choice.
After all that training and even feeling my food now, we still had to get stretching practice in. And yes, it is stretching practice. Being hyper flexible for something like Taekwondo gives you more power and a lot more reach. Someone like Cole is incredibly flexible. And then we have me over here who can barely get his knee straight. This is not good.
Again, communicate with your partner. Let him know how you're feeling.
Okay, that's it. Oh God, it hurts so much.
If you want to have a heart-to-heart, now's the time.
Yeah.
Just let them know about your day.
Can I write my will?
And after a bit of torture, we finally ended day 2. I cannot explain to you how sore everything is.
You guys are dismissed. Thank you, guys. Good work today, everybody. Dude, how your legs feel, man?
Today was leg day.
Was it really?
Yeah. So it was a little rough. Not gonna lie, but it's so good because usually, like, I get home from the gym and have a big meal.
Yeah,
and then I'm just like, oh my God, I can't do anything else. I'm like, okay, let's get there. Let's get the old man going, and like as soon as I get here, I'm like, all right, we're good.
Yeah,
like,
I feel better now. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's awesome. So next session is Thursday, so I get a day off tomorrow technically, but I'm gonna do the homework.
Okay.
So that's what I'm gonna do.
I'll have more homework then.
More homework?
Yeah. Because we're always like progressing, you know what I mean?
Okay,
it's
that's
like,
fair.
But yeah, that was like basically day 1, and then we'll.
Okay.
Yeah, then
I'm
we'll
down.
do like some more stuff.
I'm looking forward to it. Sweet.
Yeah, good.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Appreciate it. Let's go. Day 2's done. Let's
Day
go get
2,
some.
baby.
Let's go get some chicken meatballs. I gotta go make dinner.
Those are good. Those sound great.
So we just got back from training, and it is 10 p.m. and Master DJ gave me more homework to do tomorrow since tomorrow I don't have to come into the dojo. So we're gonna take advantage of this, but we gotta make our ginger chicken meatballs I never eat this late. This is so late. I just wanna go to bed, but I also need a shower.
But before the shower, I want to make these ginger chicken meatballs. To start, I'm taking some of that stock that I had cooked and heated up earlier, and I'm reheating it in a small pan. Normally with something like this, you would use a Japanese clay pot, but instead I'm just using a small steel pot to make a small batch.
Now I'm gonna kick this on and bring this to a nice rolling boil because we don't really have to cook anything.
And to help this go along a bit faster because it's so late, I threw a lid on it just to get it hot.
That's good enough. I'm gonna take 2 green onions, pop that right in there. Flavor, baby. Then I'm gonna take quite a bit of my Napa cabbage that I have, and this is gonna go in directly.
Along with the Napa cabbage, I'm throwing in some of the fresh carrots we sliced, along with some really nice mushrooms, and a bit of that fresh bok choy that we cleaned up as well.
And actually, because I'm being pretty lazy today, because it's still 10 p.m. and I have not had dinner yet, I'm gonna take my 8 chicken ginger meatballs, and we're just gonna put this straight in before it's come up to that rolling simmer. This way, everything is just hot at the same time. And last but not least, I'm gonna flavor it with just a bit of suyu.
And once this thing has come up to a boil again, this is when I'm actually gonna crack in 2 whole eggs directly into the broth to up the amounts of fat that I'm having throughout the day.
Cover this again for about 60 seconds, maybe a minute. Wait, that's the same time. My brain is off right now. It's been a long day.
So after 60 seconds or a minute, I'm removing some of the vegetables so they don't overcook completely and making a giant bowl of food for Rachel.
It's not gonna look as pretty as making everything in a traditional clay pot, but you know what? It's late. We're hungry.
I don't know why I'm using a measuring cup to scoop out some of the broth, but it was the closest thing next to me and I couldn't be bothered to find another one, but here are 2 beautiful bowls of food.
Now with this dinner, I also get another portion of rice, just because why not keep it going? So this entire bowl of food here with the meatballs and the rice comes out to around 730 calories, 65 grams of protein, 21 grams of fat, and 71 carbohydrates. This is a pretty good amount of food, especially to have this late in the evening, just because I'll probably be in bed in the next hour. Cheers. I'm so tired. Those meatballs are delicious. Take the egg, put it on top of the rice. Oh yeah. Honestly, this isn't a bad way to end the night, but we're only on day 2. We still have 5 more days to go and a lot ahead of us. So I'm gonna take this down and I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. How are you feeling? I feel like my body is wrecked. I grabbed myself a coffee and I feel like the dinner we had last night is still sitting in my stomach because we ate it so late. I know, Lucian, I know. For breakfast, for the rice bowl I'm making today, I actually had a little bit of help from my friend Josh Strife Hayes. And I reached out to him and I asked him, what is your favorite thing to have on rice? And him, being the fancy man that he is, had sent me a message saying, sweet chili chicken.
So we're gonna make some sweet chili chicken. I'm combining around 1 cup worth of water, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, a splash of mirin, around a half a cup of rice wine vinegar, and then a splash of soy sauce.
What's up, dude? You wanna say hi? You wanna say hi? Why are you going crazy?
Lucian just wanted a few kisses. Now that he's happy, I'm taking 2 whole Thai chilies and slicing them nice and thin.
I actually keep these in the freezer, so anytime that I want them, I have them available.
These Thai chilies are getting directly added to our liquid for the sauce along with some fresh chopped garlic. Once those 2 are added, I'm placing this onto the stove to reduce by half. But I made a mistake.
I did not wear gloves to cut up the Thai chilies, so I have to be cognizant of that for when I go to the bathroom.
Now that I know where my hands have been, I'm gonna start prepping a bit of hash brown to go on top of this rice bowl. Yes, these are pre-dried hash browns that I picked up from Costco that I'm just rehydrating with some hot water. Once they're rehydrated, these hash browns are ready to cook. So in a small pan, I'm drizzling just a bit of oil into there, then seasoning the hash browns and getting these nice and crispy.
Now this does have to cook for about 3 to 4 minutes on each side, so I'm gonna let this cook while we finish cooking the chicken here.
I'm making myself around 6.5 to 7 ounces of chicken breast, and I'm just seasoning this with salt. And that's because I'm gonna be brushing on some of this wonderful sauce directly onto the chicken breast. I'm only adding a small amount of the sauce because I'm gonna be drizzling a lot of this on later. After I flip the chicken, I'm gonna cook it on the other stove, and now we have to deal with the hash brown.
This could be a dangerous one. Huts! Oh yeah, baby, look at that. That's a nice one. That's a nice hash brown. It's gonna sit over there for another minute or 2 and it's done, and then we can have breakfast. I need about 150 to, let's say 200 grams of rice. What does this come out to? This comes out to 190, so we'll just go with that. This is gonna go in the microwave for just about 30 to 40 seconds, just until it's warm. Rice, fresh out of the microwave. That's a sentence. Hash brown, crispy, textures. Yeah, come on, hash brown. Don't you do this to me, hash brown. 1 piece, please. Look at that. If that doesn't make you excited, I don't know what does. Oh, I forgot my eggs. No, that's okay. I can make an egg very quickly.
After starting the egg on the stove, I started slicing my chicken because this thing is juicy and ready to go. Finish it up with quite a bit of that sauce and then some green onions, but now we have to top it with that beautiful egg.
Yes.
And since I had extra sauce, the extra sauce is absolutely going on the egg.
Admittedly, this took about 20 minutes to put together, so which is not a very quick breakfast, but it is a delicious one. I have to send a picture of this to Josh. Let's see if we get a response from him.
Spoilers, we did get a response from him.
This entire meal comes out to 845 calories, 65 grams of protein, 21 grams of fat, and 94 grams of carbohydrates. This is what we all want to see. Oh, yes. My mouth just immediately started watering. Cheers. You get this wonderful texture from the hash browns where eating it with rice almost tastes like you have the crispy rice at the bottom of a pan, which I forget the name of, but it almost has that same contrast to it, which is beautiful. The Thai chili is not overly sweet and surprisingly not overly spicy. This is a good one. Thanks, Josh. Appreciate you. Now to take this down, and I'll see you guys at the gym.
And I'm gonna need all of those calories for the gym because this is the entire workout that my trainer has me set up for today. And at least today is an upper body day, but what that means is tomorrow when I actually have Taekwondo training, it's gonna be a leg day again. So for today, I'm starting off with my warm-up, which is just rowing to get the body a little warm, and then bent over rows for quite a few reps. After that, we get some fun angles using the dumbbells by doing chest presses, as well as chest-supported bent over rows. These are one of my favorites, and I apologize for having a little bit of fun with the camera. Next up, we're to get my dips in while Master Roshi walks around in the background. This guy is an absolute Chad. He is always at the gym and keep killing it, man. Now we also have to hit our core once again, and we're hitting core every single time this week. You need a very, very strong core for martial arts because of all the twisting, pulling, and dynamic movements. I'm gassing myself out with a few snatches and then going right into sets of half burpees. And we are not done here. I'm gonna be eating some pineapple gummy bears while studying Master DJ's homework. And that homework is a tremendous amount of footwork. After the first 2 days of training, I really felt like my footwork was completely off. I wanted to practice a bit of speed, a bit of technique, and a few jukes to hopefully put myself in a better position during sparring and the tournament arc. Yes, I am absolutely that guy at the gym who's in the back throwing kicks and punches, but I have a very good reason for this. I'm fighting 3 Taekwondo black belts in a row. I always end these sessions with a bit of stretching and just a few minutes of cardio, which is obviously a mistake considering how much cardio I'm doing this week.
Not gonna lie, I think I may have pushed it a little bit too much. We're gonna head home and maybe make something a little more special just to get me excited because I'm exhausted. Like, truly.
Now I'm back from the gym with a baguette, and before I get my second training of the day in, I'm gonna be making a very special lunch. Now I'm still gonna be using a lot of the ingredients I've prepped beforehand. I'm throwing in some of that stock we had made into my tiny pot along with some chopped Japanese style curry. This is similar to the curry I'd used for the Rock Lee diet, so if you wanna see that from scratch, you can watch it over there. All I need to do is boil this together.
Now once it's thickened up, I'm just gonna set this over to the stove because I'm gonna cook off some meatballs.
Now I'm gonna be using 10 of my ginger chicken meatballs, cutting them in half and searing them in a pan.
Once you get all the meatballs in there, to reheat these really nicely, we're just gonna introduce just a touch of water. This way they'll be able to steam just a bit. Throw a lid on this and let this cook for just about 2 minutes.
And after those 2 minutes, I'm removing the lid just to let the water evaporate. This way I'm treating them almost like making dumplings in a pan. And once that water's evaporated, I'm adding in just a touch of curry on top of the meatballs. This way we can coat them slightly before we finish the sandwich.
That should be good. You can see I didn't really put in too much of the sauce onto my meatballs.
And once the meatballs are hot, this is when I'm throwing everything onto my baguette. Yes, all 10 of those meatballs. Also adding a touch of green onions and then some cilantro, but feel free to use parsley if you don't like the flavor of soap. And the remaining curry goes in a small side bowl.
And look at that. I really only introduced 2 or 3 new things. We introduced the bread and the cilantro and the curry, and we have an entirely new meal. This entire plate of food comes out to around 780 calories, 68 grams of protein, 28 grams of fat, and around 61 grams of carbohydrates. We gotta give it the dip. Oh, I lost a meatball. Cheers. This is my new favorite way to have these meatballs. You still get the ginger and the garlic from the meatballs. The chicken is still really nicely cooked. And then you just have the curry, which has an insane amount of flavor behind it. And then some of the freshness from the cilantro and the green onions. This is a winner. I'm gonna take this down and get ready for the second training of the day.
What, you thought I wasn't going to be training twice today? I have to harness as much energy as possible into this bear, otherwise it's going to wake up and smack me in the face. So I sat down and turned on some peak anime and then tried to hold Gandalf steady as long as possible, which wasn't very long, so I guess I can start making dinner. And dinner is actually going to be a really quick and easy weeknight kanji. I learned this method from my friends over at Made with Lao, where they use leftover rice as well as water to make a quick and easy weeknight kanji. But instead of water, I'm using around 32 ounces of that broth that we had prepped out along with around 1 cup worth of rice. This way we have a really nice and luscious kanji.
You want to constantly be stirring it, not only to make sure the rice doesn't stick to the bottom of the pot, but to also make sure that you're breaking down the rice. The starch is what thickens kanji.
Stirring it like this helps break everything down, but what it also means is you have to do this for quite a while. I ended up stirring this for about 20 minutes on that medium-high heat before adding in around 11 of my ginger chicken meatballs, around a quarter head of cabbage, some of that bok choy that we had prepped out as well, and then gave this a stir. Admittedly, my kanji was a little loose after adding some of the vegetables because of the water that they had, but it still came out okay. This could have been thickened up quite a bit more, but I decided to go with it because it was getting late. I topped it off with some green onions, a bit more of the bok choy, soy sauce, and and chili paste.
So according to Macro Factor, this entire bowl of food comes out to 650 calories, 63 grams of protein, 16 grams of fat, and 65 grams of carbohydrates. This is a tremendous amount of food for that amount of calories. Cheers. It's subtle in its flavors. The rice is nice and broken down. A bit of the flavor from the soy sauce gives it that saltiness. Chili paste is spicy, but it's really good. And then one of the meatballs, which I'm probably gonna have to bite into because it's so hot. It just goes perfectly. I'm gonna take this thing down and I'm just gonna go to bed because I'm exhausted. I only have one more day of training before sparring on Friday. I'm gonna try to rest up. I'll see you guys in the morning.
Admittedly, I didn't really want anything this morning. It's really hard for me to break certain habits, especially when it comes to my morning routines, and so I'm just gonna be making a simple egg sandwich. I was really just craving this today for some reason. It's a very simple thing that I make almost every single morning. It's just a few egg whites, a couple of eggs, salt and pepper, and I throw this in the microwave for a few minutes to cook. Yes, I use a microwave every morning to make my breakfast because it's just easier. A little bit of cheese onto my bread to give it some creaminess and some flavor, and this thing is pretty much what I wanted. I didn't really want anything else. I have all of this other food meal prepped out, but this was the only thing that sounded good. Halfway through the week, I really started to struggle, and so I just wanted to give myself what I wanted. And you know what? That is totally okay.
This is all I really wanted for breakfast. My microwaved eggs with a bit of toast and some cheese and some ketchup. I also have some watermelon on the side just to have a little bit of fruit. And this took all of like 6 minutes to put together, really no time at all. And this breakfast comes out to 650 calories, 54 grams of protein, 22 grams of fat, and 60 grams of carbohydrates. This is what I wanted. Big old egg sandwich. That gave me all of the power that I need to get to the gym today.
Along with that power, I absolutely had a second cup of coffee. This is just a simple Starbucks cold brew with a splash of cream because that's just how I like to drink it. I started off leg day, yes, leg day again, with a little bit of bicycle work and then what are called Cossack squats. These help loosen up my legs because this is a primarily deadlifting day. I'm doing a ton of deadlifts again for volume and reps to make sure that I can have a bit of endurance for when we get into training later. After the deadlifts, it's another leg exercise and one of my most hated favorites, the front squat. After that, I did a bit of hamstring work doing single leg deadlifts, followed by some single leg box squats, and then of course you have to work the calf muscles. I also did a bit of oblique work, which looks really awkward with this camera setup, got some stretching in, tried to touch my toes and failed, stretched my butt and hip a bit, and that was all I could manage.
We only have actually one more day of training and then sparring tomorrow, so it's coming up quick, and I am so nervous. I am so nervous.
To help with the nerves, I'm gonna make myself a really fun lunch.
Now, since nothing sounded good, yes, I did stop by the store again, which kind of goes against the meal prep vibe, but this is the only thing that sounded really, really good to me right now. And that is going to be an adult peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Now you may be wondering, how do you make an adult peanut butter and jelly sandwich? Well, you actually have to combine two types of peanut butter together. Peanut butter powder, along with a bit of milk, and regular peanut butter to get a nice thick paste.
See that? It's almost like a paste. Guys, you're not ready for this.
This is when I add the second peanut butter.
This is a half serving of peanut butter. How many of us put more than that on one celery stick?
I eat peanut butter by the spoonful. This is why I like to split my peanut butter in two different varieties.
Then I have 2 pieces of toast. This is the same bread I use for breakfast.
Now here's a trick I like to do. I like to make sure I spread even amounts of peanut butter on both pieces of toast. This way it acts as a barrier for the jelly when we add that to it. If you don't, you have the risk of having the jelly bleed straight through the toast. Now we spread it and top it and admire it just for a second.
That is a thick boy. Set this to the side while we finish the rest.
And the rest is actually somewhat of a milkshake. I'm using equal parts non-fat milk and kefir and then 1 scoop of whey protein. Yes, this is cheating a little bit, but I wanted to amp up the protein in this and make it really thick.
Oh, the kefir and the milk with the whey make it so rich, almost like a milkshake. Cut it in half because we are adults here. It's not the prettiest because that piece of bread is so thick, but I'm excited. So this meal, for how small it is, this is 835 calories, 73 grams of protein, 18 grams of fat, and 100 carbohydrates. And this actually makes me excited to eat. Like I said before, nothing else got me excited, so I'm really happy with this. Cheers. You have to try this. I'm gonna take this down, relax for just a little bit. What I'm thinking, since it's only 2 p.m., is I may have dinner before I go train. That way, I don't have to eat so late in the evening. So we'll see how we feel, and I'll either see you at the dojo or back here in a few hours. I gotta admit, after that peanut butter and jelly and that protein shake, I feel pretty freaking good. So we're gonna be making dinner and then head over to class. Dinner, my friends, is something that you're probably familiar with. This is a rendition of the Goku black noodles that are in my book, Bites. I made this when I did the Goku diet quite a while ago, and it's quickly become one of my favorite recipes. You can pick that up in my brand new cookbook, Bites Master Edition, at the link down below. That's over at chefpk.com. Pre-orders are still available. The books are arriving soon from overseas, and then we can finally ship them out. Now, I could totally use the ginger chicken meatballs for this recipe, but I do have leftover chicken from when I made that dish for Josh Strife Hayes. So to make sure I keep using all of my leftovers, I diced up that chicken and threw it into my large saute pan with just a touch of oil. After sauteing the chicken for about a minute or two, I'm just throwing in a bit of water onto here and covering it with a lid to help the chicken steam and finish cooking, because this should cook very quickly. Once that chicken is nice and steamed, this is when I'm using leftover vegetables to finish up this dish. Starting with a bit of sliced onion, some of the sliced carrot, a bit of the sliced cabbage, and leaving the green onion for later. Saute this up and then add in 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons of mirin, 2 tablespoons of black vinegar, which is what the dish is kind of named after, and then around 2.5 tablespoons of soy sauce, and you can kind of adjust this for salt if you really want to. Saute this for another minute or two just until the sauce gets nice and glazed, and then add in all of the green onion to finish it off. I ended up microwaving 200 grams of rice that we had left over from the day before as well, and then I'm just throwing everything on top of this. This entire dish takes about 6 minutes to make. It's the perfect quick dish. This is the most food on top of rice I have made, I think, in this entire series. This entire bowl of food comes out to 600 calories, 46 grams of protein, 18 grams of fat, and 65 grams of carbohydrates. And this is gonna be perfect because training is in about 2 hours. Oh, the sauce kind of hit the bottom of the rice, so the rice is starting to soak it all up. Cheers. Really hot. I'm gonna finish this off and get ready for training. I'll see you guys there. So it's day 4, it's Thursday, and you guys remember how right before I ate the last meal, I said I felt great, had a bunch of energy, and as soon as I finished eating it and I sat down, I got super tired, so we'll see how today goes. Oh, everything hurts. I feel like an old man.
You are an old man.
I turned 40 in 3 years.
Nani?
Hey, how's it going, Rick? Thank you. How's it going? I'm sore. Yes. Yeah. I'm sore, but each night that I've come back, it's felt pretty good to like get started, you know, instead of just sitting at home. So it's been nice. You're going to...
Pretty light stuff though.
Is today sparring or
No.
tomorrow
Well,
sparring?
I always mix, like a lot of times we mix stuff in though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like we'll do, it's not like full gear, full contact.
Okay.
So it's gonna be lighter stuff, you know, it's like just shin guards, arm guards, and like lead leg versus lead leg, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like covering, blocking.
Okay.
And just like finding like just strategic points to hit.
Okay.
Get your timing down and stuff like that. We'll probably
Okay.
go through some rules too, that we like, when I go in tomorrow, we can just get you sparring and just
Got
keep
it.
moving with it.
So I'm
yeah.
not just like rushing in there.
We'll cover that.
Don't break anybody's knees. That's not good. So now it's time to get started, and I'm starting with a few stretches.
Everybody
Selling
needs
feet
to
pics on OnlyFans. $5. You can have this skull.
Oh, that's good.
Please do not buy my feet pics. As we get class started, Master DJ really wanted to show us some of the ropes for when it came down to tournament sparring. Taekwondo tournament sparring is very similar to Olympic boxing, except in this case, you are using your legs instead of your arms. I tried to make sure I was immersed and paid attention to everything because I know this is going to come in handy when we start sparring the next day. The footwork is what makes everything count. Being able to quickly switch back and forth and move around freely is going to prevent you from getting hit in the head and maybe get a couple of points on your opponent.
So grab a partner, grab a clappy hand, target, over here by the white wall.
And after a quick warm up, it's finally time to get some kicks in. Now today we are practicing all of the kicks, literally all of the kicks before we start light sparring.
Now I'm gonna put a bag out and she's gonna hit it. Just lead leg, single aggressive kick. Wow.
I'm sorry, did you see how fast that was? I'm over here with my old man hips, not knowing if I can even throw my leg out. The goal of this exercise was to hit the target wherever your partner places it. This allows you to really think on your feet and try to get in some fast attacks. One of the key components of this exercise was practicing those jukes. This way you might throw off your opponent during sparring. This started to get incredibly difficult because you had to think about everything at once. Look at the difference between what I was doing and what Cole was doing. Sure, he's the gold medalist I'm going up against, but every time I see his kicks, I I get more and more impressed by how fast and how wide he can kick. And that was just the easy stuff. Now we had to go into triple kicks. Yes, triple.
If I do a roundhouse, he does 3 in a row. 1, 2, 3. Okay, go cut. 1, 2, 3. Get comfortable with this footwork here. Pow, pow, pow. Okay, so 3 in a row. 3 in a row. Okay.
I think most of us have a hard enough time throwing 3 regular jabs with our arm in a row. Trying to throw 3 cut kicks in a row is incredibly difficult. The speed and technique you need here is incredibly different than throwing those single leg kicks.
Wow, look at that. Hey, flexibility is not that bad though. It's not.
It feels like it.
Yeah, that's because you're kicking with him though.
Now I get to hold the targets for Cole, and I'm gonna try to push him to his limit just a little bit. He's been doing this for a very long time, so watching him really push here was awesome to see.
Okay, let's put those bags away then, and then we're gonna get just shin guards and arm guards on.
Now it's actually time for light sparring. This just requires a few shin guards and arm guards to make sure we don't hurt ourselves.
Oh God, I can't bend over. I'm so sore.
The shin guards and arm guards are incredibly important for sparring, especially in Taekwondo. You don't want your bones hitting each other, otherwise you may end up hurting yourselves. But at this point, I'm so tired, I may end up hurting myself just from walking around.
This is getting real. This is getting real.
Sorry, don't you? Yeah, bring him out for tomorrow. Okay. Because you'll get kicked in the face. Yeah, you'll get kicked a lot.
I only laugh because otherwise I would probably be crying at the potential thought of being kicked in the head multiple times from multiple opponents. But now it's time to get started.
Cancel motion, I just want to make sure we know what a cancel is, how to cancel.
A cancel is when someone throws a kick towards you and you raise your knee to intercept that kick, effectively canceling it out.
That's all it is right now. We're just lifting under, right? So Dallas kicks, pull this under. He's trying to displace the kick, make sure it's not effective.
We practiced this a few times trying to get that rhythm and that motion down, but it felt a little off still.
It
feels very much like a block with the arm. Yeah, okay, that makes so much more sense for, okay.
Going from Kung Fu to Taekwondo was a much harder switch than it was for me to just pick up Kendo after not knowing anything about sword fighting in my previous Ichigo video. But Master DJ explained it in a very easy way.
Sparring is kind of like rock, paper, scissors. So cancels only work in certain scenarios. They don't work against everything. If Dallas does a back leg kick, like a back leg roundhouse, Cole would not want to cancel. It doesn't really work that well. Why? Because the leg's not in front of his body until it makes contact with him. For this one then, what's gonna happen is you're gonna flick it.
Just as I was learning the regular cancel motion, now I'm trying to learn a cancel motion by flicking away someone's roundhouse. I'm trying to really absorb as much information as possible because this is a crash course for me and I only have 2 days to get ready for sparring. Luckily, I was paired up with another instructor who kind of showed me the ropes for some of the cancels. Oh, and this instructor is also a black belt and I'll be fighting him on Sunday too.
All right, next we're gonna work on then, we're gonna actually do some light sparring.
So this is it. This is when I get to start my light sparring, and luckily my instructor friend Connor gave me some tips. It didn't stop me from wanting to really listen in and try to get as much advice as possible, but when it comes down to sparring, sometimes I lock up really easily because I think way too much. I was very fortunate that he went pretty easy on me and tried to show me a few different moves that I could apply, but I kept just trying to dodge out of the way and kind of throw a kick here and there. My mind was just racing with too many possibilities. We ended up switching partners quite a few times, and every time I swapped, I tried to learn something new, but it really felt like I couldn't apply it as well as I really wanted to. I was mostly just dodging attacks left and right, trying to not get hit. But going up against people who have been doing this for years is very eye-opening. I almost got smacked in the head quite a few times during light sparring. And as we rotated partners, I went up against more and more powerful opponents. And yes, these guys are fast. I even cheated a little bit.
Oh, that's a penalty, right? Just lifting the knee?
In sparring Taekwondo, you cannot lift your leg without throwing a kick. So anytime I lifted my leg to block, if it wasn't for a cancel, would actually be a penalty point.
And come on, back in the middle. Ooh. All right, same thing. Once you're there, rotate left.
These are all things that I had to try to keep in mind while learning all of this. And then I was finally paired up with Cole, who hopefully would go a little easy on me, but I have a feeling that's not going to be happening on Sunday. Usually when you're up against an opponent multiple times, you start to learn a bit of their nuances, but I just couldn't really figure out Cole's.
Okay, we'll stay at the same person right now, but now we're gonna do, you can just kind of kick however. Ready, go!
Even with that freedom, it didn't seem to help me at all.
And I was gonna say, keep moving, stay reactionary. Don't get stuck like this and go like ta.
Just take 3 to the head.
Okay. Yeah. And once you, especially a lot of times, yeah, good.
I got cheeky and tried to throw a couple of back kicks that were too low, and then finally, as we ended, Cole decided to kick me in the head a little bit.
2, 1, come on, good.
That little dude can move.
Being absolutely gassed, tired, and sore, it was nice to finish out the day, or so I thought.
So we're not done yet though. We're gonna finish with a little bit of workout, burpees. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've done burpees. All right.
I like to laugh through my pain.
Your goal is to not stop. Minute and a half. That's our goal.
90
1 minute, 30 seconds. Let's go. Ready and begin.
My goal for these 90 seconds were to just continue doing burpees. Not fast, not slow, just to keep doing them. My legs were absolutely on fire and I realized I was cheating.
Good work, everybody.
Oh, we're doing full burpees. Oh God.
I was doing half burpees, but nobody has to know. No one has to know.
Good job. Keep it up. It's easy work.
Laugh through the pain.
If you stop, you're gonna be on the camcorder too. So I can go back and watch you stopping and then yell at you for it. So we have proof now.
We'll delete it.
You keep, no, don't delete it.
We'll delete it.
3, 2, 1, and nice job.
Yep, absolutely feel like I'm gonna throw up and fall over and pass out.
Ty, come on, you guys are dismissed. Thanks, everybody. Good work, you guys.
Thank you for the help.
Way to make it happen.
Connor, thank you for the help today.
Wow. Dude, summer camp's almost done, man.
Thank you for the help.
Yeah.
Day 4.
Ah.
Day 4.
Day 4, man. Day 4.
Thank you.
2 days left. Well, really 1 day left.
1 day left.
1 day left in the belt promotion.
Which comes with more sparring.
Yes.
So I need to come with all my gear tomorrow, right?
Yes. All
Let's
right,
do
man.
this. Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Getting close, dude.
We did it. I'm gonna go pass out. I'll see you in the morning. Wait.
Hey, good
We
work.
still have to
You're
go have
doing
dinner.
good stuff.
I technically had a really big dinner before practice, so as I waddled my way back to the car, I thought about having a snack.
And dinner is gonna be a Cliff Bar because I'm done. I'll see you in the morning.
My friends, it is day 5. That means we are sparring tonight, but today we're gonna go all in on rice with food on top.
And the first dish that's rice with food on top is going to be some of the ginger chicken meatballs that I'm throwing into the microwave to keep breakfast super simple. I'm heating up around 5 ounces of that soup stock I made along with a splash of suyu.
Gonna bring this to a simmer and then I'm gonna thicken this with some now not stirred up cornstarch slurry.
I don't need too much slurry because I want this to be thick enough to coat the meatballs, but not so thick that it becomes too thick to pour over the rice.
Then we're gonna take our now heated meatballs and place it into the sauce. Give us a quick toss, make sure that the meatballs are coated in our now thickened sauce, which is really, really nice. Then I measured out 300 grams worth of white rice. This is about 85 grams of carbohydrate. Then we're gonna take our meatballs out, place them right into the center, take our sauce and just drizzle it all over the rice. This is gonna coat the rice really nicely. Some sesame seed, which I pulled out way too much. And then of course, some furikake. And lastly, green onion right on top. And there's another way of having chicken and rice meatballs. But to amp up the protein of this entire dish, I'm also gonna have 16 ounces of fat-free milk. Remember, the theme for breakfast, especially if you're gonna be training later on right after breakfast, is to keep your fats pretty low. So this entire meal, with everything here, with the 2 glasses of milk, along with the rice and the meatballs, comes out to about 700 calories, 58 grams of protein, 7 grams of fat, and around 100 grams of carbohydrates. This will process very quickly in your system, especially now that I really have to work out in the next like 45 minutes. Cheers. I think this can be a great breakfast, lunch, or dinner. How does the milk go with this? This is gonna be weird. Yeah, the milk doesn't go with it, so we're gonna eat this first and then have milk for the dessert, and I'll see you guys at the gym.
Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. It is an upper body day, which means my legs should be somewhat fresh for Taekwondo later tonight. As always, starting it off with a little bit of a warm-up. In this case, we're doing some rows and then some stretching of the lats. Next is to hit some push-ups just to make sure that we get some blood flowing to that upper body, along with some extra exercises to get the back going as well, because this is a chest and back day. I start things off with some shoulder presses, making sure I hit a few different variations of them and making sure that I up the weight just a little bit each and every time. These are a little difficult for me because I do have some collarbone collarbone issues, but they weren't acting up too much. Next is some simple lat pull downs, making sure I hit the back quite a few times, getting as many reps in as possible. Then my least favorite exercise, pike push-ups. These rely a lot on technique, so I just do them with body weight. After the pike push-ups, I go immediately into seated rows. This helps out your back tremendously, and it's one of my favorite exercises because it allows you to really feel that squeeze into your back. Then of course, we have to get some auxiliary exercises, which are just gonna be some bicep curls along with some tricep pushdowns with the rope. And as always, we have to get some core work in to help strengthen our core for all the twisting, pushing, pulling, everything that the core will be doing during Taekwondo. Having a strong core for martial arts is very, very important. I finish it off with a few stretches before I make a very One Punch Man inspired lunch.
If you have your podcast.
There's a big reason why I'm going with the banana, and it's not just because One Punch Man Saitama loves them. They have a considerable amount of potassium, which helps with muscle recovery, which I really feel like I need. Not only that, but there's a good amount of carbohydrates, and along with the massive amount of protein in this shake is a perfect pre-workout meal before we get started with sparring training tonight.
I reached into the One Punch Man diet for this inspiration. No, it's not just a banana. There's other things with it, but I have an hour to get to training, which means I need to consume something right now that's more than likely going to be liquid, which is this, so we can get ready for training. This entire 32 ounces of liquid is 730 calories, 90 grams worth of protein, 5 grams of fat, and about 90 grams worth of carbs. I have to go get all my sparring gear. I'll see you guys there. It's day 5. It's sparring training day to get ready for Sunday, which is actually my testing day. I have to test for my belt, and that means fighting a bunch of people. This is gonna be rough. I am so tired. I'm just gonna stand there and get smacked. Master DJ, how's it going?
Hey, good man.
How are you?
Good.
Gonna get some stretching in before I get started.
Oh, do it. Yes. Do it. Make it happen, man. Make it happen.
All right, stretching time.
Stretch it out, baby.
Yeah.
I got all this room.
I'm gonna go steal that corner. I'm gonna be over there. Today's gonna be rough. Today's gonna be really rough. Not gonna lie. I think that everything has tightened up over the past 4 or 5 days. So I'm trying to loosen up before we get started so I don't feel like a tight rubber band before everything happens. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. I don't know how I feel about this.
To release some nerves, I decided to get a little creative with how I wanted to warm up, and it led to this.
See, that was pretty good.
My wife really didn't think that was pretty
I
good.
think I pulled something though.
When you're this sore, maybe don't start with cartwheels. Even Master DJ was a little surprised by the cartwheels.
Getting the cartwheels out, man.
Get them out, you know, pull the hammies now so I don't have to worry about it later.
That's right. Yeah, do it now so you don't have to worry about it later. I like that.
After a few initial warm-ups, it's finally time to start today's light sparring practice.
Are you excited right now?
I'm like excited, nervous, you know?
Yeah.
I had good reason to be excited nervous because Master DJ then said this.
Little guys, if you go against the big guys, how do you fight? You hard. Yeah, go hard. Yeah, beat them up. They're tough. That's what I'm saying. If you fight him, you beat him up.
I feel like I'm being called out on this one to just be the punching bag, but that's okay. I'm built for that. We did a few more light warm-ups, which may have been to my detriment.
So much banana milkshake.
Remember, we ate that banana milkshake just about an hour ago, and then we had to do ladder sprints, we had to do regular sprints, we had to get all of that footwork in, and after being warmed up, it was finally time to put on all of my gear.
I'm ready. I'm done. I want ice cream. I don't think I need these. These are the big boys. I think I'm missing arm guards, but I got a cup. I have a feeling I'm gonna get my butt kicked. They're all like little firecrackers. Woo, I am sweating.
I have to admit, doing 2-day workouts has led me to realize that I am not in the shape that I really want to be in, but that's why we use anime to get us excited.
I'm ready.
I actually wasn't that ready. I had to get help from Coach Dad to help me put everything on because it was really difficult to tie this thing down by yourself. Normally, you're gonna have someone help you put on all of your body armor, and in this case, I was very thankful to have Coach Dad help me out here. After we got everything on, Master DJ walked us through a few more steps to get ready for light sparring practice. Now, the reason why we call it light sparring is because we're not going full contact initially. This is a way to practice our technique on an actual target, and I'm lucky enough to go up against Cole, who I'm going to be fighting on Sunday.
I feel like a Ninja Turtle right now.
First, it should be. All right, ready, go.
And Cole came out swinging. Cole was on offense while I had to practice all of my defense, which was really difficult when you're going up against someone who's been doing this for years. Every single time he connects, it's an additional point. So I'm just thinking, I have 0 points to Cole's probably 20 at this point.
Okay, switch it.
Now it's time for me to go on offense while Cole was on defense. It was incredibly hard to just try to connect even one hit on him.
Quick explanation, this is a clinch.
Yeah.
If you get here and nobody kicks, we just kind of tap and reset.
Oh, okay, okay.
Clinching in Taekwondo is very similar to clinching in boxing where you kind of just reset.
3, 2, 1, and switch.
Now it's back to Cole on offense and he was coming out swinging again. I basically backpedaled the whole time and just stood there like Treebeard taking all of the shots. Granted, I do have a lot of weight on him, so that kind of helped. But that was just round 1.
Come on, good.
Oh my God. It gets you gassed.
Oh yeah.
Holy crap. I'm so gassed.
Being in a full fight setting is completely different than any other video I've ever trained for before.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, good. This is full thing now.
What Master DJ just said is now we're going full sparring.
That was only offense and defense. Not even the full thing.
I am definitely not confident going into this sparring with Cole because going from just doing offense or defense is going to be completely different than going all out on each other.
Okay, Chume, ready? Let's make it clean and go.
Here we go, my first real round of sparring, and I already got 1 point, 2 points against me. I connected nothing. That's 3, 4 points against me. You can see how quickly these points add up, and after being gassed from the first round, I really couldn't keep up with Cole on this second round. He was just too fast for me, and I really just tried to get out of the way. He even landed an axe kick on my head there, and I just kind of took it.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, good. 30-second break, 30 seconds.
I'm dying.
Try to find her with him, try to find her distance. A lot of your stuff is a little short right now, right? There's little, or like your little shallow and stuff,
Little stubby legs?
Yeah. So try to get like when you're kicking, try to get like motion with the kick then. Because if you just go long right away, then he's just gonna jam you, right?
Yeah. Okay, be better.
Let's get it, be urgent. Be urgent, be fast, go.
And so I tried coming out of the gate swinging and closing those gaps like Master DJ had recommended, but Cole just had so much reach on me. My goal was to backpedal until I could try to find an opening, but I just kept getting kicked in the head instead.
3, 2, 1, come on, good, Cherokee, about.
You got me,
Okay,
Jack.
30-second break again, ready to go.
Oh, I'm gonna throw up now. Woo. Woo.
You got your
I am so gassed. I can't even breathe. Whew. So that's what it means to be a gold medalist. Oh my God. I have probably 50 pounds on it. And I feel like I'm a little baby turtle getting defeated by Master Splinter.
And after a quick sip of water, we're back in it for round 3.
Be fast, be urgent, ready, go.
This is where I tried to gas everything out. All of my energy I'm putting into round 3, which wasn't too much left. I tried throwing as many correct kicks as possible, but it was really hard to work around Cole just because he was so much faster than me. And as Cole came in for one final assault, I tried to stop him with a spinning back kick. That was me hitting him a little bit low.
It's okay. It's okay. Not the first time that's happened.
This is why I really say always wear a cup when you spar.
Out by technicality, this guy.
Luckily, Cole's a champion here.
I'm so sorry.
Don't worry. Trust me. That happens that's probably the 2,000th time that's happened to me, maybe more.
Oh, I'm buying you a cup by the end of this week. I'm gonna get you a cup.
I really felt bad about that, but it's finally time to end the day.
Ty, come on, you guys are dismissed.
So I have to do all of that again on Sunday with multiple people, with bigger people. Saturday, tomorrow, there's a very special training before we get into Sunday. Oh, we still have to have dinner.
I really just wanted a shower and a nap.
And tonight's dinner is the same exact thing that I had for breakfast. The meatballs with a bit of sauce, green onions for the kake and rice. Tonight's session really put things into perspective for what's going to happen on Sunday. So tomorrow, Saturday, I have a very special day planned, not only for food, but for training. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning, my friends. It is Saturday. I am absolutely wrecked. So here's how today's gonna go. Coffee, and recovery.
And recovery involves touching grass. After all of the training we've done all week, after all of the meal prep we have done, relaxation and recovery are hyper important. Everyone needs a break every once in a while. You can't go 100% all the time. So today I enjoyed a day out, grabbed ourselves some boba, one of my favorite things to have. I know it's not really part of the diet plan, but sometimes you have to deviate to keep yourself sane. We also bought a brand new bed today. This is going to help with recovery because sleep is incredibly important. We found a place that served food on top of rice. This was a Korean-inspired rice bowl restaurant that was pretty dang good. We also found a bath bomb in the shape of a mystery box from Mario. When you cut this thing open, you're greeted by one of the mushrooms. Of course, this is going to lead to the bath scene. Every anime ever has a hot tub scene, but in this case, I'm adding in my bath bomb along with some Epsom salt that has quite a bit of magnesium to help with recovery. So I kicked back, grabbed my tablet, and watched this ad for my brand new Patreon. I'm launching this Patreon because I would love your guys' help to continue doing what we're doing on the channel. These videos take a long time to make, and in this one in particular for Jujutsu Kaisen, I spent over a month of planning, shooting, and editing. If you want to support the channel directly, you can do it for just $1 a month, and there's extra tiers for different perks. Thank you for letting me do what I get to do and share this adventure with you.
Good morning, my friends. Yesterday was very necessary. I don't feel nearly as sore as the previous day, but today is belt ceremony day, and for that, I have to actually earn it. So let's have an awesome breakfast and get today done, because this Yuji diet's killing me.
Now breakfast is going to be the last of the meatballs. I have 8 meatballs left, so I'm gonna be making what has quickly become one of my favorite ones, and that's gonna be a chicken meatball oyakudon, kind of.
Now an oyakudon is technically a chicken, egg, and rice bowl, and I don't want to take away from that because I love the original, but this is a way of just reusing some of our leftover ingredients.
My biggest obstacle was realistically making meal prep that you'd want to use in various ways all week, which admittedly has been very difficult. This is what I do full time. And I know how hard it was for me to do all of this amongst all the training and everything else. So I can only imagine how difficult it might be for you to do any of this.
I really hope if you've taken away anything from this video this far in, it's to have a little bit of fun and creativity with everything that you do.
I'm gonna cover this and let it steam for just a couple of minutes to kind of cook those eggs just a little bit. Here is 300 grams of microwaved rice that I had left over. Oh, look at how like silky this looks.
Admittedly, it's beautiful and rich and silky, but it doesn't hold its shape like a traditional oyakudon would, but that's okay, because this still looks amazing. Top it off with some sesame seed or whatever else you got.
There it is. Meatball oyakudon. Really easy to throw together, especially for leftovers, especially for breakfast. If you have 7 minutes in the morning, you can make this. This entire meal comes out to 790 calories, 60 grams of protein, 21 grams of fat, and around 90 grams of carbs. Cheers. This is still really good. I'm only having 2 real meals today, this one before my training today, and then we're gonna have a very special meal afterwards. I'll see you guys there. I'm gonna get so beat. We just pulled up to the school and we have about an hour before I have to start my training session for my belt. Now, to start things off, I'm gonna have a banana as my pre-workout, but to give me extra power, I had an extra chocolate cursed finger laying around from my Anime Expo video where I handed these out to a bunch of Jujutsu Kaisen cosplayers. So like Saitama, I really just need a banana before this, and then I'm gonna have a bunch of sugar with this chocolate finger. So it's gonna be like a chocolate banana. Cheers. Oh, pretty good.
So I mentally prepared myself for what's to come because today is going to be testing day. I have to fight a bunch of people, and I really hope the chocolate banana gives me as much energy as possible. As soon as I walked in, I saw all of the students geared up and ready to go, and Master DJ explained exactly what I have to do for this belt.
So Grant will be fighting him then. Connor's gonna spar with him, and then Cole's gonna spar with him too at the end. King of bow, intensity. Face me, bow, intensity. Faces Paul, as we bow, we're gonna say, good luck, King of bow. Yes, all right.
And now it was time to begin my very own belt ceremony. This is to get my white belt. I had to show off a few kicks that I had learned throughout the week with the different variations thrown in, but I really think that this was a way to gas me out before the fight actually started.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yes, good job. All right, switch it, other leg, ready, go.
I have to make sure that I'm not too tired for the fight, but I also want to put forth my very best effort in making sure that I nail all of these kicks. I still struggled to make these kicks look really good, but I feel like I did improve a little bit throughout the week. I even had to throw down a combo I've never done before.
I didn't know where I was going with that one.
This combo was super fun to do, and I wanted to do it a few times, but we had to do one more to completely gas me out.
Yeah.
But we can't just work the legs. Master DJ decided it was a good idea for me to also work out my upper body with just a few push-ups to make sure that that was also nice and sore.
Let's go.
This entire section got myself super pumped up and I was ready to go, and while I was getting ready, the black belts I would be fighting later would show off their stuff, starting with Grant.
Let's go, Grant. Get it, bud.
Get it?
Whoa, let's go.
And then it was Connor's turn.
Yeah, let's go.
And finally, it was Cole's turn. Meanwhile, I'm in the corner placing all of my gear on in a very methodical way. The rest of the class did some warm-ups to get everybody really excited. I got some help from another coach, Dad, and then it was time for the black belts to go at it. I didn't expect them to start fighting, but it was really cool to see. This was Cole up against Grant, and seeing how fast they could react and kick against each other was really intimidating.
3, 2, 1. Come on, good.
Next up was Cole and Connor. These two went at it for a full minute, and after their round was done, it was finally time for me to get in there.
Let's go, Grant. I'm not ready for this.
I had to go up against Grant first, and I was not prepared.
All right. Okay, turkey about. Chunbi. All right, Chef PK, let's go. Ready, go.
I didn't know what to expect with Grant because I had never come up against him before. I really just tried to make sure that I could try to read some of his attacks. I felt like I was dodging okay and trying to throw a few kicks, but I always just came up a little bit short with my stumpy tree legs. And that's when Grant gave me a good one right to the head. That one felt really good.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on, let's go. Good job.
You know what they say, you always have a plan until you get kicked in the head. That was round 1, and I'm going straight into round 2, this time against Connor.
Sparring stance, Chunbi. Ready, go.
We started off and Connor was a little more hesitant coming into this, but then all of a sudden he kind of exploded. I felt like he started to warm up and I really was trying to just keep up with him, and then I got another kick to the head, but it's fine because I'm basically Treebeard.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I didn't mean to hit you that hard.
He was really nice about hitting me in the head, so I didn't mind it too much. But that was 2 rounds in a row with fresh opponents, and now it's time to go against Cole, the gold medalist who I've been training with all week. This is the final round.
Okay, round 3, ready, go.
You know how I said I was training with Cole all week? It really didn't matter. With me being so tired and Cole being fresh and a gold medalist who's training for the Olympics, I had no idea how to defend against him. I really was just trying to survive, and even that was very difficult. After hitting the ground a couple of times, I had a takedown on Cole, which felt really bad, and as I threw a couple of wild kicks to end it, Cole came right back in with another flurry of kicks, one of them knocking me straight in the head, which I probably deserved.
3, 2, 1. Come on. I saw the clap. Let's go. Go away.
This was by far one of the hardest anime diets I have ever done. I'm just glad I was able to stay in the ring for that full minute with each of those black belts, but now I have to finish my testing, and that included some board breaking. After a quick wardrobe change from Master DJ, I had to do a technique board break and a power board break.
Break. Yes, good job. Boom. Okay. Ready? Fight!
Having completed my board breaks, I now get to be awarded with the best part.
Now he's officially a white belt, man.
I had to do all of that for my white belt.
Yeah. Here's your official white belt, your official uniform.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you can now start as a student.
After all that.
Now you can finally start, right?
Yes.
It was an absolute honor to be able to be around this amazing community, get my white belt certificate, which I think they just give you if you sign up, but I did all of this anyways. One of the students had given me some really cool friendship bracelets, and instead of heading home and having my own meal and kind of just doing my own thing for dinner, I surprised everyone with a huge plate of mochi, which is one of Gojo's favorites, and it seemed to be a favorite of everyone here, but I also decided to throw a pizza party with everyone. Because let's be real here, food is so much much better around your friends. Thank you to Master DJ and Cole for running me through this week, and to all the new friends I met at US World Class Taekwondo. Being able to share my love for food and anime with everyone here was truly a blessing, and I don't think I'll ever take that for granted. With Yuji's training out of the way, it's time to move on to Toji.
I have devised the ultimate way to become Toji Fushiguro in the next 7 days. Not only will I be training like him, learning how to use a 3-sectional staff, but I've created an entire diet plan based on Toji. Here are his stats. He's around 28 years old. He needs 3,000 calories per day, 200 grams of protein, 380 grams of carbs, and 80 grams of fat. But here is the biggest problem with Toji. He's primarily seen eating street food. This means we're going to be making street food each and every night, in addition to convenience store food for breakfast and lunch. The biggest reason for this is that most of Jujutsu Kaisen takes place in modern day Tokyo, and convenience store food is eaten throughout the country every single day.
Because this is such a long week of training, I have to meal prep a few things to get ahead. This helps me save time later on in the week for when I'm super tired or in a bit of a rush. And because there are so many recipes in this video, I've actually separated this one Toji video into 6 different videos. The main video, which you're watching right now, and then recipe videos, which you can find in the description down below. Each of those recipe videos work on their own, so if you see a recipe you like, you can just watch that video after this one. I'm primarily using chicken breast for my protein, so I slice them up, season them, vacuum sealed them, and cook them in a sous vide machine. The result is something pretty close to salad chicken that I ate pretty often in Japan. I also shredded up some cabbage, the most versatile vegetable on the planet, made a quick soy sauce and vinegar dressing, and then cooked up some rice and sweet potatoes for carbohydrates. I will be using this pile of food for all of my meal prep, including the street food recipes. Remember, all of this is in the description below if you want a deep dive.
But this is day 0, and day 1 is going to require using this thing.
Now that I have all of my meal prep ready, I have to get ready for today, my first day of Wushu training. But I can't train on an empty stomach, so I'm having myself a really nice cup of pour-over coffee, 2 onigiri using the rice we made yesterday, along with 6 ounces of chicken breast and some kimchi. Here are the macros for this meal: 545 calories, 58 grams of protein, 8 grams of fat, and 55 grams of carbohydrates. I'm keeping it light because I'm looking forward to a massive chicken yakisoba later today. Now, Toji is one thick man. Look at these muscles. So we also have to work on our own muscles before we start training with our trisectional staff later tonight. And in this case, for today's workout, I am doing an upper body session, which I'm actually going to regret later, which we will talk about when we get there. But these movements are super simple. I've actually been training with Goku Flex, who has his own training program, and there is a huge focus on eccentric movement, which means we're really putting a lot of focus when the weight is coming back down. I also picked up this really fun camera, and I did have quite a bit of fun using it at the gym, but this thing is amazing. It's the Osmo Pocket 3, and I highly recommend it for any of my creator friends out there. But now back to the training. The next section was to really make sure that my shoulders got a killer workout. Focusing on the upper body is actually going to help me in the long run because the trisectional staff needs quite a bit of stability from the shoulders and the upper body. So after some shoulder work, some chest work, and these really awkward tricep extensions, it's time to head back home and have our pre-kung fu meal.
So we're back from our gym session. I grabbed myself a second cup of coffee. Yes, I do have 2 cups of coffee a day, but I'm going to be changing up the menu slightly. We're still having street food, which we're going to have right now, only because training is going to be at 7 p.m. tonight, and having food pretty late makes it so I just don't sleep well. So, you know, thinking about me here.
Now, this yakisoba is utilizing everything I've already prepped in addition to some dried noodles. I boiled up some noodles, threw in some onions and cabbage and some diced chicken into my pan, gave this a nice quick toss, threw in the noodles, added my sauce, and remember guys, the full recipe for this is in the video link down below. I popped an egg in here, gave it a quick toss, and there is some hefty chicken yakisoba.
Look at how much food this comes out to. This is a substantial amount of food. Now, optionally, you can also throw in some store-bought yakisoba sauce. You can also make your own yakisoba sauce, but this stuff is really good too, and you can find it at any store, maybe even Amazon as well. Just a little drizzle right on top. Also some sesame seeds. I have sesame seeds laying around all over the place. Why not? This took us all of maybe 6 minutes to put together. Thankfully that we meal prepped most of it. My mouth just started watering immediately. Now, according to Macro Factor, this entire plate of food comes out to around 800 calories, 70 grams of protein, 20 grams of fat, and around 80 grams of carbs. That's not a lot for how much food we get. Remember, you could still bulk it up if you want to add more by adding more cabbage or anything like that, add some more veggies to it, but look at this. This looks delicious. Oh my God. The egg is just coating the noodle. Can you see the egg on that noodle? Cheers. It's tangy, savory, has a little bit of crunch to it from the veggies. The noodles are really, really nice. The chicken itself, still super tender. I'm telling you, man, get one of those sous vide machines, cook your chicken in it, you'll never have a dry chicken breast again. I'm gonna eat all of this, and I have to make it to my first Wushu lesson. And I think I'm gonna bring a helmet.
And my Toji's training arc begins here at Summit Wushu Academy. When I walked in, I was slightly taken aback by this really interesting picture. Do you see this picture here? This is Jimmy Wong from the Command Zone. Yes, he was in the live action Mulan and trained with some of the people from here at Summit Academy. I knew I was in good hands just by seeing the amount of trophies that they have gathered over the years from massive tournaments. I am so ready to begin this Toji training arc. They threw me right into it. I wasn't sure what I was getting into today, but I was going to try my best. This class is led by Sifu Peter. He has been teaching here at Summit Wushu for over 10 years, and he's the one who's going to show me the ropes of Wushu, and in particular the tri-section staff after an insane amount of warm-ups. Toji is incredibly fit and incredibly strong, so we have to make sure that we put our best effort into conditioning before we even put our hands on a tri-section staff. Safe to say it was a mistake to do this workout during chest day, but I wasn't going to let that stop me. After getting in some calisthenics of push-ups, sit-ups, and leg raises to make sure our entire core and our chest was destroyed, it was time to stretch and then get down to basics. During Kung Fu, you're normally never going to touch a martial weapon until you practice the open hand style. In my case, I'm taking the accelerated course. Sifu was absolutely keeping his eye on me to make sure I did everything correctly.
Right side first, one, push. Good. Fingers together and good. Thumb tuck. Everything lined up one shoulder. And then hit with the heel of the palm.
It's so important to understand how to turn and twist your body because all of these hand movements actually apply to when you begin using a martial weapon. Everything from palm strikes to hammer fist drops.
Up, high, right arm straight. Good posture. Now you're gonna bring it down quick. And one, drop. Good, and put all your weight.
Now the hammer fist isn't really just about bringing your fist down into your palm, it's actually about the footwork and making sure you plant extremely well. This is going to teach me how to plant my feet and how to use my lower body. But after we learn about power, this is when we learn about speed and agility. The spinning hand is used in so many different techniques, and it really teaches you how to use a bow staff without holding a bow staff. The bow staff is actually the prerequisite for learning the tri-sectional staff. And the agility part is so difficult for me. For some reason, I can't nail this move down. I had to take my time and make sure I just performed the actions as smoothly as I could without forcing it. If you rush along during any of this, it just becomes sloppy, so it is better to go slow and make sure you get the movements right before you go for speed. And as you can see with my fellow classmates, they go incredibly fast compared to how fast I was. I actually wasn't going fast at all. It felt very, very slow to me, but I feel like I learned the movements. We've been training for a solid 45 minutes now, and we still haven't put our hands on any bow staff or tri-sectional staff. This is when we get to see these piles of weapons and finally get our weapon of choice, which actually is the bow staff because Sifu would not let me train with the tri-sectional staff immediately.
Right foot forward, left foot back, we're gonna do some flowers, all right? First one we learn is reverse flower. So you kind of find on the staff about the balance point, where the balance is, and then you kind of hold it a little lower. Right hand, left hand under, and hands together, close. Okay, staff is gonna be on the right side, pointing the tip down.
The first basic move we are learning is the flower, or in this case, the forward flower. A forward flower just means I am raising up my bow staff upward, essentially hitting in an upward motion. You do this over and over until you get incredibly fast with it to perform multiple forward flowers over and over, and it looks something like this. But this is where I have to start, and this is what I look like. But then Sifu came to me and said, Paul, that's not the only flower. We now have to train the reverse flower. And in this motion, there's quite a few more steps. In the reverse flower, you're swinging the bow staff downwards. You have to repeat this motion in various ways while rotating your body, so this way you complete a single reverse flower. Honestly, the reverse flower felt so much more difficult to me than the forward flower, and it took me quite a while to even understand the hand placement. I'm just taking it slow and really going through the motions to make sure I try to nail down the technique before I go for speed.
We'll split up. You guys can work on your normal weapons now, all right?
Now, while the rest of the class got to work on their weapon set, I had my two amazing trainers, Tristan and Tony, able to help me out learning the reverse and forward flowers with the bow staff. After another half an hour or so, I was able to get down not only the reverse flower, but also the forward flower and actually be able to combo this back to back. That's when Tristan was like, dude, let's try the over the head spin, and I could not figure this one out for the life of me. For some reason, my wrists just don't bend that way, but I gave him my best shot, and my best shot wasn't that great, but I tried. That's when Sifu Peter came over to me to observe my work and then mentioned this to me about the 3-sectional staff.
Normally, the progression is very steep learning curve. So we're doing everything condensing, like what is that? The Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, like the hyperbolic time chamber training?
Oh yeah, we're doing it in 1 week.
Perfect.
So now it's finally time to become Toji and try to master the playful cloud with the help of two amazing instructors who are going to be helping me along the way.
The thing with the 3-sectional staff, if you're scared of it, it'll get flimsy and then it'll hit you. So you want to like keep it steady. Okay. Because when it's steady, it'll stretch out like a normal staff.
Okay.
Remember how earlier in the day we were practicing power with the hammer fists and speed with the flowers? Well, the problem with the 3-sectional staff is that you actually need both. If you don't have enough momentum, power, or speed, the 3-sectional staff will just smack you in the head, which I learned the hard way over and over again. That's when my instructors recommended that I bring the staff together so this way I don't smack myself in the head.
Oh, nice. Yeah, nice.
I have to admit, this entirely felt like a fluke. I had no idea what I was doing, but I knew I was doing it, up to a point to where I didn't know how to stop.
Do I stop it? No.
Yeah, you could just like let it.
Okay, I'm just put it away from me.
I wanted to prove to myself that that wasn't just a fluke, so I tried it one more time and I really felt like I could get the rhythm, get the rhyme, get on up. It's tri-sectional staff time. Even Sifu came over to see how I was doing, and he commended me, and this felt so good, especially for one day of training.
It's only 3 shots in the head. Wow. We did it.
That's good.
Thank you, guys.
Very good.
But hey, remember when I said we were practicing 2 different flowers? We just did the forward flower, and now we have to do the reverse flower. This is so much harder than it is with a bow staff, because if you stop any momentum, the staff just smacks you in the head, in the knees, in the body. It just is an unforgiving weapon. I had to collapse the staff one more time to really try to get the rotations correctly, and I had a really hard time with hand placement. I tried this a couple more times, and I just couldn't really get it right. A lot of it had to do with that I was actually afraid to be hit by the weapon over and over, so I was trying to be very cautious with it, which isn't something you should really do with a tri-sectional staff. That's when Sifu came over and reinforced the idea that I can't really be slow with a 3-sectional staff because then it just won't open up. It defeats the purpose of the weapon by going too slow. This is day 1, and I don't have a lot of confidence going into this. Yes, we did some stuff well, but I will say this was incredibly fun. So much fun that even Rachel wanted to get in on bow staff training. I cannot explain to you how excited I am to train like Toji for the next 7 days. So strap in and get ready, and welcome to becoming Toji from Jujutsu Kaisen. For the next 7 days, I'm going to be eating and training just like Toji to learn how to use Playful Cloud. I have never done anything like this before, and I have to prove myself during a test at the end of the week. Day 2 starts off with not necessarily a bang. The reason why I like making my meal prep ahead of time like we did for this video and this entire challenge is so I can make really easy to prep breakfasts. A lot of us don't have a lot of time to make breakfast in the morning, so being able to take some ingredients you've already made and then elevate them in different ways like I'm doing here really does make your breakfast life a bit easier. I'm torching some Parmesan cheese on some onigiri and serving it with some of that convenience store style chicken we made along with some kimchi, and this is going to be a delicious and easy breakfast.
It is 10:30 a.m. I'm starting my day a little bit late, but I wanted to take this down and head out to a new gym that hopefully has a little bit of room for me to practice. This breakfast is around 600 calories, 60 grams of protein, 13 grams of fat, and 54 grams of carbs. We're trying to keep it very consistent, so this way I can keep consistent with my own diet, but also pay homage to Toji. You guys all know you want this onigiri. Torched Parmesan cheese on rice is deceivingly delicious. I'm gonna take this down, and I'm gonna see you guys at the gym.
Now Toji is absolutely jacked. He has what we call a demon back in the anime world. So while I'm not actually training at Summit Academy every single day, I am going to be training every single day. And in today's case, to get that demon back like Toji has, I am doing some very simple back exercises, but then I really wanted to focus on my own 3-sectional staff training. I wanted to make sure I got properly stretched out, so I used the bow staff like how Sifu told me to loosen up the shoulders, and then I practiced some very simple movements by first practicing the forward flower. I know I was doing this wrong. Just looking back on it, I wasn't getting the movements right, and I really couldn't remember how to do this properly. But even still, I grabbed the 3-sectional staff and really tried to remember those movements from the previous day. Only having a couple of hours of training under my belt really proved to me how difficult it was to control this thing by how many times I got hit in the head. This thing is completely different than the bow staff. At one point, I just decided to give it a go and started swinging this thing around, hopefully getting some momentum, and I did, and I was super happy about it. But what I realized now is that wasn't the right movement. So I gave it one more go, this time practicing the reverse flower, and smacked myself directly in the shin, and that hurt so much. But I wanted to keep going. Yes, we don't need shins, we don't need heads, we just need this thing to spin. I was able to get some more movement and momentum going, but I just constantly kept hitting my shins and my head. I really wanted this to work, so I kept spinning it and kept going, and then hit my shin in the same exact spot one more time. At least I was able to spin the staff just a bit and then called it for today.
All in all, I feel really accomplished today. That felt so good for day 2, but now I get to go home and have the next street food, which is my friend's takoyaki. High protein takoyaki. I don't know about you guys, but I am extremely excited because I was able to get some of those exercises done to become closer to becoming Toji.
Now this takoyaki is going to be slightly different than most takoyakis you will come across, like the stuff I ate in Tokyo. This high protein dish uses a basic takoyaki batter made with chicken stock instead of traditional Japanese dashi. After adding in a sprinkle of furikake, my batter is ready to cook. I poured my batter into my pan, added in my chicken, and then finished these off. Topped it with a cabbage slaw that I dressed with the soy and vinegar dressing, more diced chicken, Kewpie mayo, takoyaki sauce, pickled ginger, and more furikake with a side of sour cream. And if you want a fully detailed video on how to make this, check out the description down below. This epic street food dish comes out to 920 calories, 88 grams of protein, 33 grams of fat, and 62 carbohydrates.
We're gonna take a piece of chicken with a takoyaki, get a little bit of everything in there, put a little bit of cabbage right on there, some ginger, just stack it. Look at this bite, it's making my mouth water. Cheers. I don't know what it is about takoyaki that makes me so happy. My God, you have to try this. It made my 3 hours at the gym worth it. We have day 3 tomorrow, and I have to go back to the school because they are going to rip me a new one, and I can't wait. I'll see you guys there.
With a belly full of takoyaki and one sleep later, I have to learn how to do this entire set as part of my training. Tony is demonstrating the set that I have to perform in front of the entire school. This is a custom set that they designed for me to learn as a beginner, which means that this is not something you would typically learn in a week, but they're trying to condense as much as they can into a single week. And did I mention that is just the first half of the set that I have to learn for this test? And I need to fuel myself, so I'm using some leftovers from the previous day, which is just white rice, some of the chicken, and that slaw that we had made. This is 700 calories, 60 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, and 70 grams of carbs.
This is not a ton of calories, and you don't really want to eat a lot, especially before high intensity training like we're gonna have in a couple of hours. Oh, I should probably put some soy sauce on here too. That would be really, really good. Take some of the cabbage, some of the chicken, and some of the rice, and that's it. I know I've been eating this for 3 days, but I really don't mind. I'm gonna take this down, and I'll see you guys for day 3 of tri-sectional staff training. My head hurts still a little bit from getting hit, but it'll be okay.
We can ignore the head hurting, but we can't ignore putting on our Bruce Lee Kung Fu shoes before we start today's training. Like previous days, we're starting off with some stretching and some warm-ups, but in this case, we are working on our cardio. I am definitely not fleet of foot, as you can tell by me absolutely destroying the ladder. I couldn't even figure out how to jump forward and backward at first. We got our kicks in, making sure that everything was fully stretched because a pulled groin is not fun, as you'll find out later on in this video. With a little bit of help from Sifu, I was able to get some of my kicks down better, and then we decided to practice jumps. Jumps in Wushu can mean a lot of things, but today they meant learning how to do 360s, which I haven't done in forever, practicing a jumping 360 spin kick, which I've never done before outside of Street Fighter, and we ended it by practicing a butterfly kick, which looks like that, but then when I do it, it looks like this.
And jump and scissor. Yes! Okay. That's right. Flat. Turn. Yes. You get the height.
Seafood definitely hyped me up on that one because the next one were straight up aerials, which I decided to just do cartwheels instead. I'm making it a goal to learn how to do an aerial, but today we do cartwheels. Once we were nice and sweaty from our warm-ups, it was finally time to practice our weapons training, but my trainers, Tony and Tristan, really wanted me to start off with the bow staff once again because this is only the second day I've been able to work with them. I had my one day on my own, which really didn't get me very far, so having a second day with practicing some bow staff first before trisectional staff training was really important. When they were happy with some of the progress I made, this is when we got into our trisectional staff training. Sifu wanted to go over the few basics we learned the previous time we trained, but instead it just looked like this. I was really trying to get confident with spinning this thing, but I will say it is slightly terrifying when each part of the staff just wants to conk you in the head. At one point I got it going, but then I was terrified that I couldn't make it stop. But we didn't have too much time to linger on the previous things we had learned. We had to move on to the next move, which is called the ground flower. This is a series of rapid hits that you do one after the other. This has to be comboed with everything else we have learned so far. I had a really difficult time learning the hand positions for these exercises. Luckily, Tristan was able to walk me through some of this, but I will say the hand positions for any of this stuff is super important. If your hand position isn't right at any point during this, you're probably not going to be able to control the weapon properly, and then you're going to get hit in the head or the shins again. But after around 30 minutes, I was able to start connecting the dots. It felt like I was slowly conquering this move and really started to understand the flow, but realistically, it was only because I decided I was going to hit my head no matter what, so I may as well go all in. That's when the ground flower actually started happening. Thanks to Tony and Tristan and help from Sifu, I was able to knock this one out of the park. My coaches and I discussed what we needed to do next, and this was incredibly important because class was ending for the night, but I still had so much work to do. Sifu, Tristan, and Tony all offered to stay and help me learn a few more moves and really start nailing down what I needed to learn for my test coming up in 3 days. Because it's all well and good to know some of these moves, like I really started to pick up and understand, but we had to learn how to combo them and connect them together. Otherwise, it's just like having a few powerful characters in your roster, but none of them can really work together. Yes, they can be strong on their own, but when they're brought together, they become unstoppable. But in my case, I just couldn't understand how to really bring these things together. Tony had demonstrated how to go from the reverse flower to the forward flower. This goes from hitting forward and down to up. He makes it look so effortless and easy, but I just couldn't understand how to do this. Once again, everything came down to my gorilla hands not understanding the subtle hand placement needed to understand this weapon. So we went back to the bow staff to really start getting the hand placement right with something a bit more stable before we jumped back into the 3-sectional staff. I'm really curious as to how many years Toji would have had to train to get at the level that he was. This is my first attempt at trying to link together two different moves together. The reverse flower followed by the forward flower. It was sloppy, it wasn't pretty, it wasn't fast, but I was able to actually connect them together. Once Sifu saw this progress, he thought it was time to learn the set that we were going to be testing. This is the one that Tony had done earlier. I haven't done anything like this in a long time, and doing it with a weapon in hand is something I've actually never done before. I was able to go through some of the motions very slowly just to make sure I got hand placement properly, foot placement was right, and really paying attention to these subtle differences in momentum. Sifu was kind enough to literally drag me through this process, and I was able to finish it, but I wasn't able to make it as smooth and as nice as I really wanted. I have a lot of work to do.
Nice work.
I have a lot to learn. I have a lot to learn.
Fun though. It's fun, right?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Just learning 3-sectional staff like that maybe takes like a couple weeks.
And while Sifu and I talked about what was to come, I actually had only one thing on my mind, and that was this: an amazing bowl of ramen for dinner. It's my birthday. I'm treating myself.
We're walking over to one of the better ramen shops here in Portland. I'm gonna eat so much food. Oh God, it hurts.
Now you can find some really amazing ramen out here in Portland, and in particular, I am headed over to Kinboshi Ramen. I've been to this spot a few times because it's across from the convention center where we do Rose City Comic Con, so it's kind of become a watering hole and a tradition to come eat here while in costume. They had a few new things on their menu that I was really excited to try, like their tonkotsu red ramen.
Hey there. Maybe we do 2 of your tonkotsu shoyu reds, please. 1 of your special spicy karages. 2 of your level Japanese lagers, And then one gyoza, please.
I know it sounds like a lot of food, but it is my birthday, so again, we're treating myself, and I am celebrating with one beer. Yes, Toji would probably have beer.
Cheers.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thank you.
So good.
We got our spicy karage and our spicy ramen at the same time. Both of these look absolutely amazing, and I can't wait to dive in, but we have to start with the karage first. I'm dousing it in a bit of lemon juice and then smashing it into this beautiful spicy remoulade that they served it with. This was fantastic.
That's so good.
While we were digging into our chicken, the gyoza arrived, and as much as I wanted to eat the ramen, I had to eat some of the gyoza first because I love having my appetizers.
The pork gyoza, super flavorful, really tender, a little bit of crispiness on the dough itself. Those gyozas are made really, really well. But now, we're here for the main event, the ramen. Itadakimasu. Oh my god, the noodles are chewy. The broth is very spicy, really rich, incredibly flavorful. The pork really comes through. This is just a fantastic bowl of ramen.
Not only was the ramen itself amazing, but the chashu pork was super flavorful, really rich, really fatty, but incredibly tender. The entire bowl just came together so well, and it's exactly what you want after a big training day.
This entire meal comes out to about 1,500 calories, but after 3 hours of training, we deserve it. We have a lot of work to do, and day 4 is coming up. I'll see you guys in the morning.
Good morning, my friends. It's Sunday, and I'm still very, very full from last night's dinner, surprisingly. And I'm also pretty sore, but I was going to take today off just because I feel like I needed the recovery. But instead, I think I'm going to do some like active recovery and go through everything I learned last night because it was so much. A little overwhelmed, but I think I really do want to practice what we learned last night. I'm gonna have my coffee and a protein shake, and I'm gonna head to the gym to start practicing my form because I definitely need it. I will see you guys there.
Just made it to the gym. I'm gonna start training, but I was also fortunate enough to find footage of one of my instructors who had put this thing together for me. This is the form I need to train today, and luckily I have it on my phone so I can take a look at it when I need to.
With only 3 days to go, I only had one thing on my mind, the absolutely delicious taiyaki I'm going to make for dinner. Well, that and learning my moves and my form because I need a lot of practice. I have a bit more confidence going into today after the long hours I've spent learning, but it's still not enough. I practiced the basics, then my form, and it never felt right. But after a solid 30 minutes, things started to flow together. Remember the first day on my own and how I hit myself in my head and my shins multiple times? Well, not today. Combos were happening, the form was kind of happening, it was all sort of coming together in a way I didn't think was possible. There was no blood coming from my nose and or head today. I even got comfortable enough to start practicing the ground flower, the move that I learned the previous day at Wushu. For some reason, this one felt the most natural to me and I was able to really hit it off with this move. But the hardest part about all of this is really tying them all together like I mentioned previously. If I just have a bunch of singular moves and I don't really tie them together, it's again like having really strong characters that can't do anything together. That's when I decided I really needed to practice my form. So I got to work. I got the first move out of the way, and then I could remember almost nothing. So I had to grab my phone and look at what I recorded from the previous day. My brain was working overtime here. So I put my phone where I could see it and practiced again by trying to just listen to Sifu call out the moves. This way I wasn't having to watch my phone and I could really pay attention to the moves themselves. As you can see by me fumbling around, it didn't come together as well as I would have liked. Because if I had skipped today, it would have just set me back 2 or 3 days.
I'm so glad I didn't skip today.
That's how easy it is to lose track of what you've done previously, especially with something new. I really wanted to try to build a habit going into this, so this way the next 3 days before the test are much easier.
Today is still technically a recovery day. It's been a solid 2 hours, and I feel like I've learned quite a bit of my forms. I'm just going to head home and start making street food for one of the dishes for today. I'm really excited for this one because it's something we actually didn't get to eat in Japan. We had a different form of it, so hopefully you guys can use this recipe at home, and honestly, I think it's gonna be freaking delicious, so I'll see you guys over there. We're back in the kitchen, and today's street food is actually going to be taiyaki, one of my absolute favorites, and something that I had in Osaka during our street food video.
In Osaka, I actually had a red bean taiyaki, which is a traditional form of taiyaki. But today, I opted to have a custard taiyaki, an eggnog taiyaki because it was that time of year, and a bacon and egg cheese taiyaki. Yes, a savory taiyaki. This is my favorite form of having taiyaki. Think of it as having like chicken and waffles, a little bit of sweet, a little bit of savory, all delicious. If you want to make your own taiyaki, I have a link below for that, and you can watch that video after this one.
And there, my friends, is a full set of taiyaki for the evening. These are some of my favorites. I know I've said that a lot about all the street food that I've had, but truly, I love these things. I want to start with the bacon, egg, and cheese, which is this one? I don't want to open it without knowing. It's this one. Now, between 4 and 5 of these come out to a different calorie amount, just in case you guys stuff them with something different or whatever the case is, but 4 to 5 of these comes out to around 800 calories, 40 grams of protein, 25 grams of fat, and 100 grams of carbohydrates. Not too shabby. A little low on the protein, so I'm probably gonna have to have one of the pieces of chicken, but that's okay. To treat yourself every now and then. Cheers. Oh, look at the pastry. Oh man, it's nice and fluffy. It has a nice saltiness from the bacon and the egg and the cheese. The ones I had in Japan were still crispier, and I wonder if that's because they're using cast iron in a thinner batter. This just needs some maple syrup, and you're good. But next, I really want to try the eggnog. Cheers. Oh, this one, look at, I'm gonna break this apart just so you can see the inside. Look at how much eggnog filling I was able to get in there. Tastes like eggnog. Oh, that's so good. I wonder if Toji enjoys things like this. But now for the one that I didn't get to buy in Japan because we decided to get the red bean. This is the traditional vanilla custard version. Ready? Cheers. That's everything that I wanted. It's so good. Look at the inside of that. I'm gonna polish a couple of these off, end it with some chicken, which is kind of boring, but we do the boring so we can enjoy the luxurious. We only have a few days left before testing happens. I'm feeling more and more confident every day, which is really cool, but there's still a lot to learn. So I'm gonna be up early, and I will see you guys for coffee in the morning.
Day 6 is actually a pretty laid-back day, so we're keeping it simple. 3 onigiri, 1 chicken breast, a little bit of Kraft cheese because it's epic. That comes out to 700 calories, 60 grams of protein, 10 grams of fat, and 90 grams of carbs. And an hour later, I'm hitting the gym for an upper body workout and then getting to practice with my trisectional staff. I started off slow, making sure I got some of my wrist movements down, and then got right into practicing my combos and all of my moves. I will admit it felt really good to get back into the flow, but I was really sore today, but it didn't stop me from really trying to pick up the speed. I felt really confident going into today. The moves felt better, everything felt tighter, and I actually finished the first half of my set. I think I have this down. But now for today's street food, I'm having some amazing savory dango. Normally dango is served sweet or a sweet and salty, but I'm going for just completely savory here. I'm using a boxed dango flour that I picked up on Amazon, seasoning it with salt and pepper, and then I used some chicken stock because I'm making it with chicken. I rolled them, boiled them, seared them to get a nice crust, topped them with some Okonomiyaki sauce, which is a power move, a bit of Parmesan on a few more, torched them, made a bit of slaw on the side that I topped with sesame seeds and a bit more chicken for protein, and this is my awesome street food dinner for today. Remember to check out the recipe video in the description.
This entire meal comes out to 950 calories, 81 grams of protein, 24 grams of fat, and 100 grams of carbohydrates. That's a pretty hefty amount of food, and I'm probably gonna finish the night off with like a protein shake or something just to have a little bit more. But this honestly should keep you full for the remainder of the evening. Depending on how late you eat it, it's only 5 o'clock right now, but I go to bed pretty early. I'm gonna jump in to this regular dango first. Cheers. Perfect chew. Oh wow, it has a little texture to it from searing, which I love because dango is traditionally very soft and chewy. You can taste the chicken stock, which I'm very surprised about, but also a little bit of salt and pepper. This is fantastic. Let's give the one with the sauce a try. Yakisoba sauce, that's a pro move right there. That's so good. But now we need to try the Parmesan one. You can also do cheddar, cheese sauce, Kraft, whatever you want. Cheers. I'm torn between the Parmesan and the Yakisoba sauce one. Parmesan's a little nuttier from the cheese, but the Yakisoba has a nice tanginess to it, a lot of flavor. I'm gonna give it to the Yakisoba sauce. Fantastic dinner. But tomorrow, we have to be at the school at 6 p.m. because I am training with my most difficult class yet. And I have to show my form. So I hope eating and training like Toji has really helped me this entire week. I feel like it has, and I've been excited about it. So I'll see you guys in the morning for coffee right back here.
Okay, I lied. I grabbed the coffee on my way to the gym today because I woke up a bit early, feeling a little anxious and a little tired. My body just might be overly sore from the amount of training I've been doing recently, so I took it a little easy today with the lower body stuff. I kind of just went through the movements here because I wasn't really feeling the energy coming to me, and that probably has a lot to do with the amount of energy I've expended throughout the week. Not only that, but not having breakfast and just a coffee before double training really isn't it.
I am very tired.
But the practice still had to get done. I only really have one more day before I have to perform my test in front of the entire school. So I pushed through, tried all of my combos, and really tried to put together my entire set. But the entire time, I just felt tired and off. It may have been better to just skip this portion of the training and really focus on tonight's training at Wushu. So I stopped a bit early and practiced a bit of meditation that I learned during my Ichigo diet video. During that meditation, I just thought of one thing, and that one thing was this amazing chicken and bacon okonomiyaki I'm about to eat. The theme is to continue using chicken even for this okonomiyaki. So into my flour, I threw in some chicken stock, 1 whole egg, a pinch of salt, some baking powder, a ton of that shredded cabbage we had made, a bunch of chicken that we diced up, then gave this a mix, and this was ready to cook into a giant okonomiyaki style pancake. This is more the Osaka style, which everything is just mixed together, topped it with some bacon, and then this has to happen.
Hoots! Woo! Let's go!
The flip is so important to cook the other side. I'm topping it off with QP mayo because it's going to be delicious and it's pretty traditional, a bit of okonomiyaki sauce, some fish flakes just on one side because this is really chicken, and then some ginger, and this is done.
This massive plate of food comes out to around 950 calories, 90 grams of protein, 35 grams of fat, and around 65 grams of carbohydrates. The reason why I'm having this giant meal right now is because it's 2 a.m. and I actually have training tonight at 6, but we're training from 6 to 8:30. So I'm having my heavy meal now and maybe something lighter before training tonight. Otherwise, I'd feel just too heavy eating this before bed or before training. Hi again, Alf. The version I had of this in Osaka was absolutely delicious, and I think it was one of my favorite things that entire night, and I really hope I do it justice. Look at this. Cheers. Oh my God, I think I did it. It's creamy, it has texture. You can taste a little bit of the mayo. The chicken comes through. You have that bacon flavor in there too. I love this so much. It's honestly relatively easy to make. Oh God. If you're gonna make any of the street food from this entire video, I highly recommend this one. Now I'm gonna take this down and get ready for tonight's training. I hope I do Sifu proud. I'm gonna see you guys there.
So I didn't account for this. Sifu asked me to join the younger class today, which takes place before the adult class. So this means I'm actually training 3 times today. And on top of that, Sifu decided I needed to do all the conditioning with the younger class just to make sure I was completely warm and completely exhausted for when I joined the older class. I tried my best to keep up, but these kids, man, they have all of the life in them, and I truly wish I had that. We did everything from trying our butterfly kicks, which I felt a little bit more comfortable with, and then the class demonstrated some things that I don't think I could ever do, even if I tried, like doing multiple aerials in a row. I don't know how this little guy did it, but he did one after the other until I think he got too dizzy and then just kind of passed out, which was great to watch. I did my own little combo, which resulted in me fumbling around a little bit and really attempting to give it my all, but this was difficult. I tried doing my best here, and unfortunately on that last little spin move, I kind of pulled my groin.
Oh, my hips. Oh, it hurts so bad. I think I pulled my groin. No, like 5 minutes ago. Oh.
So since I'm in a bit of pain, I'm letting the class do their thing because I don't think I could keep up with this. They showed off various forms that they would actually perform on stage at different festivals and events.
Turn it up. Head step. Energy. Go. Yell.
That was really cool to see in person, and then they invited me to come and do stretches with them. Unfortunately, I cannot stretch like they can. I don't think most people can stretch like they can, especially not me. She put her forehead onto her toes while doing the splits. After training with the younger class, it was time to join the adult class, but I was given a bit of special treatment, and that special treatment was being put into a corner and being told to practice all of my staff work. Sifu had kind of blocked off a small area for me while all of the other classmates worked on their conditioning and their stretching, since I had already just done that, and this gave me time to really practice the staff work. The problem is that I was just incredibly tired and my groin was actually hurting pretty badly. It took me quite a few tries just to get the staff going again, just because of how fatigued I was, and Sifu came over just to give me a few words of advice on hip rotation, which was really difficult right now. Sifu wanted to make sure that I began learning the second half of my set, the one I've been practicing for this entire time. This meant I had to do this figure 8 move to a reverse flower, to a forward flower, to an over the head spin twice, and then finally to a punch. All of this is after the first half I've been practicing this entire week. But the first problem was that my groin pull was actually really bothering me now. But therein lies the second problem. It's just not enough time to learn everything. Sifu makes it look so easy, but he's been doing this for decades, and I've just been doing this for 6 days. Sifu asked me to practice one more day at the school and then perform my set. He felt like I wasn't ready, and I had to agree with him. I was not ready physically or mentally. So to kick me into high gear, we did more cardio. Yay. Needless to say, I was pretty exhausted.
You guys got this. Finish strong. Good. It simulates the full form. Let's go. All right, last one. Go. Push, push, push. Nice. Full form, full form. There you go. Good. Way to finish. Nice. Good work. Good effort on the conditioning at the end. You guys push hard, and then I see improvement when you guys are training by yourself, so that's a very cool thing to see. Very mature of you guys here. All right, class set. Salute. Okay. Good work.
One more day, and I need a lot of ice. I'll see you guys in the morning.
But the next day was not a good day.
So it's almost the last day, and last night we decided to train for about 3.5 hours, and then like the gym that day, and I didn't really have too much to eat, and I was feeling pretty tired, so I pushed myself a bit, and I ended up straining my right side abductor muscles, which is not fun. So today I'm going to focus on active recovery and making some decent meals, but probably going somewhere to get those meals, because cooking while you're injured isn't always the most exciting thing, and hopefully I can still do the forms that I really need to show to Sifu. We also decided it would be best if I had one extra day at the school and then did the forms in front of everyone on Saturday. So I actually have another 5 days to go, which is a little reassuring because it means I can recover, but also this is a long one. We're in it for the long one. So I'm gonna ice myself and I will let you guys know what's going on, and hopefully have some good food today. Maybe we'll go to a food truck. Food trucks are good. I like food trucks.
After feeding my master Gandalf, I went for a quick walk just to try to loosen everything up, and then I made my way to another food pod that was pretty close by because I really wanted this. This place serves a really delicious chicken shawarma wrap. It's called a Saj, and this one in particular is filled with grilled chicken thighs, a bunch of fresh vegetables, their house sauce, garlicky, spicy, tangy, absolutely delicious. I added extra chicken to this, and the guy kind of looked at me funny, but then when he realized I was serious, he was super excited to add it all in, because this thing ended up weighing over 1.5 pounds. It was absolutely loaded, and I was super happy with it. This was one of my only meals for the day aside from a small breakfast, because it came out to over 1,500 calories.
Not gonna lie, getting in and out of the car hurts quite a bit, but I do have a date
so I'm gonna head to it.
And that date, my friends, is at a local card shop where I meet with my friends every Wednesday to play some games of Commander. This is just to relax a little bit because of everything that's happened the previous 9 days. After that, I made my way home, laid on the floor, and used a massage gun to hopefully help out my leg situation. And after a good night's rest, it is the final day of training. I made something I hadn't made in a while, and it's one of my favorites. It's an egg white sandwich with kimchi and Kraft cheese on toast with a little bit of ketchup. Don't knock it until you try it. After having breakfast, I went to the gym and did a quick upper body workout, but I mostly went to the gym to practice some of my movements and my combos. Luckily, a lot of the movement I had done the previous day for recovery and on this day helped me stretch out my leg a little bit and get it really warm so it wasn't bothering me too much.
Hey, how's it going? I'm feeling pretty good. The leg isn't hurting as much after warming up, which is really great. So I think we're gonna take it easy. I'm not gonna push myself right now. Let's go get a bite to eat and then get ready for training for tonight, because this is the final training before my form and that special event I was talking to you guys about. I'm really excited for this one. They invited me, the Wushu Academy invited me to a really cool dinner. So hopefully it's gonna be awesome and I'm gonna bring you guys along. I'll see you guys in a minute.
Now, remember the previous day where I had that chicken wrap? Well, I'm getting another wrap, but it's not quite a wrap. It's a massive veggie burrito from one of my favorite places called Veggie Bowl in Oregon City. It's a spin on Hawaiian food with some Japanese influences, but I ordered their heavy veggie burrito, which is a massive piece of food.
I got myself a giant burrito. This thing is massive. Look at this. It's like a small child. I think they also gave me a sauce. Ooh. Oh, it's like a house hot sauce. This is starting to feel like the Ichigo video quite a bit.
But the one thing I didn't have in the Ichigo video that I do have in this one is that I get to train with classmates, and I can't tell you how much better that is to me. We started today's training off with dodgeball, which was an amazing amount of fun, and it really warmed up my leg.
Haven't done that since high school. That was exhilarating.
After a good stretch, my fellow students showed off their skills with their favorite weapons. It was really cool to see them perform and start to understand how much work they put into everything that they know. From the broadsword to the bow staff to the rope spear, and then finally to the trisectional staff showed off by my two coaches. It was really impressive to see these things in full speed because I cannot fathom how I can get there in just 24 more hours. So we practiced over and over and over and over again. The same movements repeated over and over. It's like that Bruce Lee saying of "I fear the man who has practiced the same kick 10,000 times." That's essentially what you have to do here. You have to practice the same thing so many times it becomes muscle memory. If you have to stop and think what you're doing, you're just going to fail. That's why seeing my classmates perform was really awe-inspiring. So I continued to practice throughout the night, and even though it was getting late, I really wanted to give it my all and make sure I did as much as I could before tomorrow's test. After quite a bit of work tonight, I felt like everything really started to come together. I started to understand more of the combos and the beats of the performance because that is incredibly important. Towards the end of the night, I finally nailed down this practice performance, but that doesn't mean I am done. I now have to bring in all this energy tomorrow.
That one felt really good.
And after we bowed out of our class, I really didn't expect this, but my fellow classmates actually cheered me on. This was awesome. But now, it's testing day.
Well guys, it's technically day 10 of our 7-day challenge to become Toji, and today is testing day. We're gonna get hit by a car. Let's go this way. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty nervous. Good morning.
And so it's finally time. 10 days of training, an injury, doing things I've never done before has finally come to a head. I got to the school a little bit early so I can practice some more of my moves and make sure I really had everything down. Practice does make perfect, and I still felt like I didn't have enough time to perfect everything. That's when my trainer Tristan pulled me outside in the freezing cold. Tristan, thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming out here with me to practice the set one more time to make sure we had the moves down. Everything flowed really well together, and that probably had something to do with I was just here 20 hours ago, so everything is still really fresh, but I felt really confident with a lot of these things now. With my trainers watching and myself being a bit more warmed up, I was ready to tackle this thing. So we went back inside out of the freezing cold. The younger students finished up their set before I got to start mine. I got in just a little more work before I had to perform, and honestly, I was incredibly nervous.
We're ready. Looks good. All right.
I think so.
Got it?
Yes.
Get loosened up. I'll hold this for you.
Okay. Yeah.
Just relax. Do it like how you practice, all right?
Yeah.
Focus on your performance. you're a natural performer, right? So really milk it. There's an audience now. I know. Like enjoy your movements, enjoy the moment.
Yep.
Okay. Every part that you do, like get to the checkpoints, get to the finish the section. When you pause, kind of
think about the next one.
Yeah, kind of like settle down and kind of
yeah, because they're natural. Like I'm thinking about getting to the first jab, slowing down, ground flour. Yeah. Then the catch. Yeah. Slowing down, finishing that. And then finishing.
Okay. And at the end, just finish strong with power. Yeah. Get up like you know, like you've been doing this for years. Slow it out. All right. Very persistent because you with 3 sectional staff, you're gonna hit yourself. You hit himself a lot. All right. He didn't shy away from it. He's very coachable, very humble. He learns very quick. So we're very proud of his progress, and we can't wait to see him perform. This is what we do for Wushu. We either compete or we perform. He's gonna try to do that today. So if you guys can, show him some support. You guys can cheer him on. You guys ready? All right. Paul, are you ready?
Ready.
Okay. All right, ready? Salute in.
This is it. 240 hours of training put into 60 seconds.
Nice. Good. Strong here. Nice. Good. Finish strong here. Nice. Good salute. Nice job. Very good. Good job. Good performance. Clean.
Thank you, guys.
Very good. How did it feel out there?
Good. Yeah, that was fun.
Was it?
Yeah.
Was it a little nervous?
A little bit, but I had 2 great instructors.
Yeah.
So it was good.
You did an excellent job.
Thank you, guys. Seriously. 3 great instructors.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Sifu Peter and the entire Summit Wushu Academy and community were some of the warmest and kindest people I've ever met. This experience was something I've never done before, and I honestly couldn't have done it without them. Sure, becoming Toji after 10 days is awesome, and I'm glad I was able to do it, but the best part was the community. We finished out with some dodgeball, and then we had ourselves an amazing holiday party because yes, I filmed this in December and it was the holidays, please forgive me for the very long lag time, but they invited me to their awesome holiday party. Rachel and I had a great time. We didn't get to bounce around in the bounce house, but that's okay because we just stuffed our faces full of food. When I say these are some of the nicest people I have ever met and some of the warmest community I have ever been a part of, I truly mean it. Having a meal with everyone here was honestly the highlight of the entire week, and learning how to use a really cool weapon. To me, having a meal with everyone here was truly a blessing, and I can't thank them enough for inviting me. Make sure you guys check out Summit Wushu Academy at the description below, so that way if you want to be a part of this community, you can check them out too. Now it's time for the strongest, Gojo Satoru. But first, we need a little coffee.
Now the reason why I'm going and getting my own coffee is because Gojo is a very busy person, so I'm assuming that during his day he goes and gets coffee multiple times throughout the day.
I popped into my local bakery who have amazing coffee and a bunch of sweets because Gojo Sensei has a sweet tooth.
I got my coffee from my local bakery and they have this gooey butter lemon cookie, and because it's Gojo, I'm going to indulge today because he has a sweet tooth. Cookies for breakfast, man. Oh my god, that's fantastic.
With coffee acquired, I need to talk to you about Gojo.
Now for Gojo to look and perform the way he does, we need to know his stats. And for that, he is 6'3", around 185 to 187 pounds. This means he needs around 2,800 to 2,850 calories per day, trying to hit a protein goal because he's very, very active of 187 grams per day. Since he's also very active, we need a ton of carbohydrates. So we're gonna be hitting around 300 grams of carbohydrates today and around 90 grams worth of fat. So that means breakfast is gonna be very fun. Now, crepes are super simple to put together too. Granted, like we just talked about, I don't think Gojo is making these on his own because he's so busy, but we're gonna be making these because we can. Into a small bowl, I'm doing 1 egg with a half a cup of flour, a pinch of sugar, going in with about 2 tablespoons worth of melted butter. Don't leave out the butter. And then around 2 to 3 ounces of cream, along with 2 to 3 ounces of water.
After you have everything in your bowl, give it a whisk and make sure it is looser than pancake batter. Add in a touch more water if you need to, give it a quick whisk, and we're gonna set this to the side. Now the fillings for the first crepe are going to be strawberry and pineapple. You can use whatever fruit you want. I'm using these two. The second crepe is going to be savory, and we'll get to that in just a second.
Only 2 more things to do for all of our crepes. There's a little bit of whipped cream, heavy whipping cream, and like a tablespoon worth of confectioner's or powdered sugar.
We're gonna whip this up until we get kind of a medium stiff piece.
Bam, whipped cream. Please don't buy whipped cream. I take that back. I do buy whipped cream. Now I did mention we're making 2 different styles of crepes. The second one is going to be a scrambled egg and cheese crepe. See how this comes in handy? Now this is definitely not enough protein. So you have 2 choices. Tofu or egg whites, and I'm going with egg whites here. I'm adding an additional 5 egg whites. Now we have our eggs ready.
With the eggs ready, it's time to make the crepes, but first we need a sip of this coffee.
I'm still really bad at making crepes, so please forgive me.
I'm aiming to get 2 full-size crepes out of all of this batter.
But it looks like we're gonna get a little bit more than that.
Maybe we're gonna get 3 crepes out of this batter. You wanna make sure that you constantly swirl your pan around to get some even coating. And once it's cooked for about 2 minutes on one side, we gotta flip it.
Looks like it might tear, but I'm gonna give it a shot. Oh, yes! Woo! That was good. You gotta smash like for that one. That was good. Come on.
After you've smashed like and cooked it on the other side for about 2 minutes, place this onto a plate, finish cooking your other crepes, and we're good to go.
Now I have all 3 of my crepes ready. Again, I only wanted 2, so this one that kind of messed up, it's just a bonus. It's just a bonus. Now we're gonna be making scrambled eggs, super easy.
In a very large saute pan, add in a nice dab of butter or 2, and then dump in all of your eggs. This is the 2 eggs and the 5 egg whites.
Make sure you don't piss off Chef Gordon. Make sure you stir this constantly. Get those eggs nice and scrambled.
For scrambled eggs, you wanna continue stirring this just until they become soft set. You can see this happening in real time sped up, and make sure you do not overcook this. Once they start to set, turn off the heat and your eggs are ready to go.
Actually need to take them out of here or they overcook. This is where we get to have a little bit of fun with our filling.
I really need to get a crepe maker so I can get the fancy cone crepes going, but this is gonna have to do. Now you can do absolutely anything you want in the inside of these crepes, but we are gonna be doing some whipped cream on the inside, followed by stacking it with your pineapple and your strawberries.
A little more whip right on top. Fold your crepe over like a little pocket of joy. Just be very gentle and then flip right onto the plate. Give it a little tuck. Crepe number 1. Done.
Now the second crepe is our egg and cheese crepe, and it's super easy to put together. When you place your eggs into the middle of the crepe, make sure you do scoop it out of the bowl because water can pool down below. You don't want all of that extra liquid onto your crepe. Once you have your 7 eggs loaded onto your crepe, this is when we're going to sprinkle just a bit of salt on top of it. Hit this with a good amount of shaved Parmesan cheese. Give this the nice tuck and roll like we did before. Place it onto your plate and add some more Parmesan cheese on top. On that fruit crepe, make sure you hit it with some more whipped cream. Place a piece of strawberry and pineapple right on top so you know which is which, and there you go. Breakfast is ready.
Now I get to finally eat all of this. Again, Gojo would have probably just gotten it at a creperie. So this meal for Gojo for breakfast comes out to 57 grams of carbs, 22 grams of fat, and about 53 grams of protein. This is a total of around 670 calories just for breakfast. Not also including the cookie that we ate, so maybe like 800 calories for breakfast. This is a lot of breakfast for me. The egg is so good. There's something so sinfully delicious about eggs and cheese. It's so good. What about this fruit one though? This is gonna be nice too. Oh my god. I think I like the fruit one more.
And like everyone else who works on YouTube, I had to eat and work at the same time. Now, this was a ton of food and it took me about 20 minutes to get through it. I made sure I chugged a bunch of water because I'm gonna be eating so much food today that I'm going to be incredibly thirsty. After all that food and that meeting, I needed to get outside and help this digest.
I definitely had to leave the house for a minute because the food was just sitting in my stomach and I needed to go out for a walk just to help it digest because it's so much food. And we still have to get ready for lunch. I mean, I had to run downstairs to get rice going while I was in the meeting, just so that way it is ready for when we need it.
After the walk, I hit around 4,700 steps, but I wanted to make sure that I hit 10,000 steps before lunchtime. This is gonna help with digestion, and since I was on a call, I could just jog in place until I hit that 10,000 steps, trying to be as productive as possible during all of this.
During my second meeting of the day, I was able to get in all of my steps because Gojo is very slender, so he probably gets in quite a bit of cardio, especially since most of his cardio comes from fighting curses. I feel like I've digested most of breakfast right now, so we're gonna be having the pre-workout meal. This is actually gonna be very substantial. We are going to be making tamagoyaki.
I know, I'm having eggs again, but tamagoyaki is had on the streets of Tokyo, and I did love it out there. This is 4 eggs and a pinch of sugar whisked really, really well.
Biggest reason why, again, I'm reaching out for tamagoyaki is because this is also something that you can find in a konbini or a convenience store out in Tokyo.
To see if your pan is hot enough, just take a bit of your egg and streak it across the middle of your pan. If it cooks almost immediately, you know that your pan is hot enough and you can start making all of your egg. This egg cooks very quickly because there's such thin layers. And when it's almost all the way cooked, this is when we're going to fold it twice, making this little pocket of egg at the bottom. This is when we repeat the process for all of our egg to make our final omelet. The big thing is to make sure that you don't overcook the egg and don't use a lot of heat, otherwise it's gonna be burned. We don't want burnt egg.
Now I'm gonna let the residual heat of the pan finish cooking the egg while we work on the next part, which is the carbohydrate, and that is onigiri.
For our carbohydrates, I'm using around 200 grams worth of steamed white rice for our onigiri. I'm also seasoning them with just a bit of plain salt. The reason for this is because I want these to be super easy to make and because I'm also very terrible at wrapping these with seaweed, so please forgive me. Each of these onigiri came out to 100 grams, so that meant I got 2 onigiri for lunch.
Now normally for tamagoyaki, this does need to sit for like an hour, but we need to eat lunch now because it's 12:15 and we still have a lot of food to make and eat.
Since we're not waiting, we're cutting the tamagoyaki into 5 equal portions.
That's technically 3/4 of an egg per slice. Oh no.
I wanted to get this plated up so this way I could enjoy my food more because it'll look so much better.
This is our beautiful lunch, but I'm gonna finish it off with some furikake, and in particular, this is ebi, or this is shrimp furikake? Yes, shrimp furikake. Just a little bit right on top of the egg, and then boom, we have lunch. This is so simple to make, and again, you can find these at konbinis in Japan, so I don't think it's that far-fetched that Gojo would have had this walking around Tokyo while he's either training people or fighting curses. So I'm gonna dive into the egg. I probably should use chopsticks, but I'm a monster, so cheers. It's perfect. Just a slight sweetness to it, but it needs a little touch of salt. You could also put some soy sauce on here. I'm gonna go with salt instead. Oh, I'm gonna go for another one. That's really good. Now for the onigiri, I'm also gonna take some of this furikake. Yeah, right on top. I love these. I know it's just seasoned rice, but there's something so good about it being so simple. Oh, egg. Here are the macros and the calories for this meal, which means we still have 2 more things to eat, 2 more full meals to make for Gojo. How does he look like a K-pop star while eating all of this food? I'm still kind of full from breakfast. Dinner's gonna be delicious. I really hope I'm even hungry by dinner time. If this is how I am with Gojo, how am I gonna do All Might's diet? Okay, lunch is done. We're gonna start getting ready to do our workout, which is gonna be very interesting.
Gojo is pretty slender, really in shape, but I don't think he lifts a lot of weight. So we're gonna do a total body workout at body weight.
Welcome to the dungeon that is my garage. For this bodyweight workout, I ended up just doing a bunch of pull-ups, a bunch of push-ups, making sure that I hit every single rep that I could, making sure that you get the leg workout in so you don't look like SpongeBob. Nobody really wants that. Any good martial artist will absolutely hit their core just like Gojo would and finish it up with another round of pull-ups.
Like 4 more rounds of that. Just finished that workout for Gojo. It was kind of ridiculous and I'm exhausted, but we need to work on our hand-eye coordination.
If I pretend really hard, it's like I'm Gojo right now. This ended up being a 35-minute Beat Saber workout that absolutely gassed me by the end of it.
That was more than enough hand-eye coordination. I think we're gonna vomit. We're gonna sit here for a minute and then go start prepping dinner because we still have to have that.
So we're back in the kitchen and I am still a little full, but I wanna start dinner now because it's pretty close to dinner time and this is gonna take me just about an hour to put together. This is why living in a place like Tokyo is hyper convenient. You can get good food anywhere. I live in a farm town. Very sad. But that's why I can make everything. And for dinner, we're having sushi. Well, I guess we're having nigiri. I get 330 grams worth of white rice. There's a big reason why I decided to go with sushi for this. In one of the episodes, Yuji and Nobara were complaining about where to go get food and they wanted to go get sushi. Now, Nobara wanted to go get really fancy sushi in Ginza, but Yuji just wanted the sushi on the train platter thing, which is fine, you know, but it's not very great. Eventually, Gojo decided to go get fancy sushi in Ginza, so we are making sushi.
Now this rice is also the rice I used earlier for lunch. All I'm really doing is taking all of my rice that I had measured out and adding in my sushi stock. This is some stock that I had made, but you can also purchase sushi stock. What I like to do is make sure that I put it on as evenly as possible while constantly mixing the rice. Once I'm happy with how the rice looks and it's at a nice room temperature, your rice should no longer really be hot at this point, and then pile it up to one side.
I just have a piece of wet paper towel. I'm gonna throw this right on top of the rice. It's just gonna help prevent it from drying out while we get everything else ready. And for tonight's dinner, I have some really nice ahi and some really nice salmon. There's a big reason why I'm doing both. Now, salmon has quite a bit of fat in the fish. So if I were just doing one or the other, because I still need to get a good amount of protein with my fats, I probably would run into the issue of having too much fat or too little fat. I'm still feeling lunch. Like quite literally.
And even as full as I am, I still have to eat 6 ounces worth of this salmon and 6 ounces worth of this tuna. That comes out to 12 ounces worth of fish, plus all of the rice we have to eat.
I'm probably not gonna have enough rice in this portion, to be honest.
Now, I'm really out of practice in making nigiri, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. You wanna ball up just a small amount of rice, making sure you don't crush the rice just like you would with onigiri. Place that right on top of your fish, gently press it down to make sure it's formed really well, and there you go. There's your first piece.
It's not bad for not having done this in I don't know how long now. That's a nice little piece of sushi. We're just gonna place this on the cutting board and we are going to blitz through this. Let's go.
I finished up by making each and every piece of nigiri that I could, and I still had a little bit of fish left over that we're going to be using as some sashimi.
I was able to get about 10 pieces of each, the ahi and the salmon, with a little bit of fish left over because I ran out of rice because we ate most of our carbs today. But we have to save carbs for dessert. Now let's get this really nice amount of sushi on some kind of a plate. Should we do 20 pieces on this? This feels like it's gonna be a lot. Oh, I can get 8. You need some room in between each one, Paul. We're actually gonna put the rest of this onto here as well. Kind of, I guess, almost like sashimi. I kind of mangled some of it. We'll do fresh ginger on this side. This is all of my freaking dinner right now. This is so much fish. This is a lot. It's about what I would order at a sushi bar though, so. I'm sitting down for this one. I feel like I've worked out 3 times today to try to keep up with Gojo, so I'm just gonna take the liberty of sitting down so I can enjoy this sushi. I've been looking forward to this all day, so let's grub. And we still have one more meal left. I don't know how he does this. I'm gonna go with the salmon first, try to get a little dip in the soy. Sounds good fish. Ah. See, I'm not the best sushi maker. 100% admit that, but I can still eat it. And just like power through this a little bit. I'm still kind of full. My hunger is actually coming back, which I didn't think it would at this point. You know, if I lived in Tokyo, I'd probably get sushi every day. Or at the very least, I'd get onigiri at the konbini every day. Just gonna move the rest of this onto this plate. Okay, 1 plate down. I am slowing down a little bit though. 4 more pieces. That actually was a lot. A lot of rice, a lot of protein, which is really satiating. And since it's nigiri, you don't have too many like contrasting flavors like you would with a roll. So you do get some flavor fatigue. You do really get some flavor fatigue. Cheers, last one. Now, we have to make dessert.
After a day like today or fighting curses, sometimes you just want the easy stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. I still don't really feel like Gojo, so it must be the hair. Whose diet am I gonna do next?